And that's real magic.
Hello everyone, I'm here with Long of Nova, translations by Michelle, thank you very much. Long and Nova take down Rolster Y in a 4-game series that both teams wanted to go long. So my first question here for the King of the Jungle is, what was it like handshaking into late game team fights against Rolster Y?
就是今天还是邀请到了你嘛，身为打野之王，然后对阵 RY 的时候呢，可能在后期的时候还是有一些挑战性的。那对阵 RY 后期，你觉得他们的后期怎么样看待呢？
我觉得他们其实整局下来都很厉害，他们也是一个很强的队伍。就我们拿下的话，也需要很好的状态才可以赢到他们。
I think they're gonna be like a better, stronger than I was thought before the game began. So I need to put much like 100% to struggle for the game.
You didn't get to play Lee Sin before this match. Then you get to play Lee Sin 3 times. Why are you so good on that champion?
之前没有打过李信，为什么今天打了3次呢？然后还发挥的这么好？
之前我的李信他们都没有放过，然后就今天他们对手都头铁不放，然后我就一直拿吧。
Just because they don't release out the Lee Sin for me before the game, so it's the first time I can pick that one, so I'm gonna play my best for that.
Just for the fans at home, how does shot calling work for the team? Who's the leader in terms of shot calling?
你们队内的指挥是谁呢？
指挥的话，其实我和辅助。
Me and our support Yami gonna be the main shot caller for our team.
And then finally to close it out, with this win, how far do you think you can go now?
这场比赛拿下之后，你觉得你们未来还能够进行到哪一步呢？比如说4强啊，或者是决赛这样，多远？
我觉得如果赢得了 FunPlus 的话，可能能冲击冠军。
I think if we can beat up the FunPlus Phoenix, maybe we can lift the championship title.
There we go. Long, thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you for the interview. Send it back to Mick on the desk.
No, it's working.
And right on cue, we are back, and Digon is back as well. You know, thanks for that, by the way. I was about to point to like, how did you get here so fast? The magic of production.
Just had to rush on in real quick after that one. But no, again.
Teleport in.
Yes,
yeah.
it's like having teleport. Yeah.
You had TP. Okay, great.
Unlike Do, keep split pushing without it.
Really quickly, predictions for this match. Do I even really need to ask? I'm going to ignore that. Predictions, Stuart?
I have to go for FPX. I'm sorry.
Don't let me down.
I have to go for FPX for the predictions. I have to do it.
Digon.
I picked FPX.
Oh my gosh. Well, all of you out there know I am definitely voting for RRQ for
I want RRQ to win. I want them to win.
Yeah. They have the hearts of everybody, and the question is if that's going to be enough to carry them forward. But we know that they are definitely having fun on the stage. We heard them having fun on the stage. Is that going to carry over to them winning FPX?
We'll see. I mean, it's a clash of styles here because RRQ are going to skirmish, they're going to scrap, and they're going to make you earn everything. And, you know, you're just kind of waiting for 0711 to get online on one of these scaling junglers. So we'll see how they do that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, you know, in terms of, you know, this game, it's going to be, you know, RRQ maybe coming up with the unique picks as well. You know, will Helios bring out the Rakan mid again? Will we see Exerson on Yuumi as well? You know, these crazy picks that RRQ have been bringing out as well. And then on the side of FPX, you know, I feel like they struggled a little bit against Omega before. They did win 2-0 against Omega in the group stage, but it wasn't a dominant performance that we were expecting against the Brazil first seed.
Right, and it's again, just going to be about 0-7-1-1 cleaning things up here for FPX. Again,
well,
I haven't seen a lot from them.
I can hear these guys behind. I can understand what they're saying, and our second and final best of 5 match is about to get underway. So let's toss it over to our casters, Rafa and Riku. Let's go.
What's going down, everyone? It is our second and our final quarterfinal series of the day. It's your boy Rafa. And your homegirl,
Riku. Yeah.
Oh, snap. Did you just bust some Tagalog on me?
No, I just copied you. You said it's
Oh.
your boy, and I said it's your girl.
Oh, you said it so fast when we've been practicing Tagalog before this series. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, snap. Did you just like bust some more on me?
Nah.
But obviously,
Later.
we've got some more Tagalog homeboys on the stage right now. It's RRQ, the Drip Kings of the Philippines, taking on FPX, who are the undisputed best team from the WRL as they took the crown from China, and they're looking to take the crown of the world. But it's got to get through RRQ first.
Yeah, exactly. This is a different stage. Quarterfinals, BO5, whoever wins this will get to proceed to the semifinals. And this is going to be very exciting because, as you said, Rafa, #1 seed from the WRL versus the #1 seed from the WCSPH.
RRQ, 2 bans already taken away from FPX. It's the Singed and the Jace. The Jace didn't look so hot in the series prior, but we know that in the hands of either Yezi or Fado, that is a laner that can get out of control. RRQ still have to worry about certain picks like the Renekton that has been so dominant in the hands of Fado throughout the group stage.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? You can't exactly predict what Fado is going to do because we've seen before that he plays Zed top, which is going to be a very contested pick in the RRQ matchup because we know Helios is the #1 Zed player from the Philippines. So right now, Yumi is open, by the way. Meow, meow.
And the desk called it out. Pretty sure Miko was like, hey, is Execution going to play the cat? Well, he's got it, baby.
And remember the fact that RRQ was able to take up games from JD Gaming with the Lee Sin Yumi combo, so that is still open. Will FPX prioritize that for 7-11? Looks like that's a no.
Corki and Senna secured here for FunPlus Phoenix this time around. Scaling marksman for the side of the #1 seed from the WRL, Yezi and Xiaoma. The backline has been set, and with the powerful backline, now you need an equal powerful front line to protect them.
Exactly right, because you've got very powerful scaling, you've got a lot of healing, you've got a lot of poke. Meanwhile, for RRQ, that's the Helios special. That's the Zed that we're excited to see here for game #1 in this BO5 series. Meanwhile, that's the Varus getting picked up from Marky, which, you know, with the Thresh out of the picture, what would be the best pair? Something that can roam. We've been seeing a lot of Rakans, we've been seeing a lot of sets. As long as you have wave clear, Exosen can make the plays.
And if Helios can be enabled on the side lane, we have seen so many games. One of the most exciting games dating all the way during the play-in stage from Prusher on Furious Esports was able to turn around against JDG thanks to his efforts on the Zed. And we know that FPX, being a huge favorite in this series, if you can give comfort picks to the members of RRQ, the ones who are the underdogs in this series, that is how you can make an impression in game 1.
Yeah, and they're getting everything so far, right? But when we look at the FPX spectrum this time around, these are things that is able to be amazing at team fights, be amazing at disengaging, because RRQ, you know they want the scrappy fights, you know they want the scrappy skirmishes, and this Gragas Lei is going to help immensely to stop that from happening.
Now, paired with the Senna, this means that Lei will be taking a lot more resources, will be picking up farm. It's going to be on Xiaoma to do all the heavy lifting in the roaming. And notice here, RRQ, very aware that 0711 has had a lot of success on the Jax, on the Kha'Zix, something that he wants to scale up on. But FunPlus Phoenix, taking a book from Nova Esports, especially with Long on his performance of Lee Sin, now 0711 saying, I can also play this champion.
Exactly right. I feel like it was going to be a battle of whoever gets the Lee Sin this time around being prioritized, but no. Seems to me that Lee Sin fell a little bit here. That's going to be 0711, but here's the catch. Chaz is going to be on one of his best champions in his performances back in the WCSPH, and it has been constantly banned against him, which is this Riven.
The Riven is so huge for RRQ, and Devil J is going to play supporting cast here on the Shen. He can have a stable Baron lane during the laning phase, and then as soon as you start split pushing either with the Riven or the Zed, the Shen can join you in a moment.
And that's the 1-3-1 that we're talking about, right? You push the side lanes, and just as you mentioned, join the fight. This is the RRQ special, where they're gonna juggle both. We've even seen games where Helios is 0-0-0 in KDA, but split pushing. But that's his job, doing that big 1-4 for his team, and it has worked. But against FPX, though, again, this is a team that is very calculated, very clean, and it's so hard to penetrate their defenses.
Yeah, FunPlus Phoenix. We had suspicions that 0711, the main pillar and the main success line for FPX was going to be through how well can FunPlus Phoenix protect 0711 during the early game so that he can scale up on a carry. But he's not playing a late game scaling carry. He is playing the Lee Sin. He is going to be the bridge, and now we're shifting resources away from the jungle and into the Baron lane like Fado, into the back line for Yezi and Xiaoma.
Yeah, Fado is going to be incredibly scary on that Fiora. No one can match his split pushing power at the later stages of the game, and we've seen if FPX goes through the long haul, they're hard to stop.
RRQ are going to have to dig in deep. They've got their comfort picks.
Yep.
Now, here's my question, Riku.
Uh-huh.
We have expectations for this series. I think the analyst desk, I don't know if we got the chance to see their predictions. I know there's discussions about FunPlus Phoenix being the favorite teams here. But if RRQ getting a majority of their comfort picks, what are the chances in this series?
Okay, Rafa, I'm gonna tell you this. My predictions for this VO5 is that Game 1, FPX is gonna win. Game 2, RQ is gonna win, and FPX is gonna get mad like,
Whoa.
Okay, that shouldn't have happened. We're gonna get 15-minute games afterwards and win it 3-1.
Riku just laying out the whole game plan.
That's my prediction. That is my vision.
Oh, look at this, though.
Sneaky.
No,
Oh.
pause. Not now.
Taking a breather. It's because I had to explain my.
The producers heard you lay out the script. They're like, hold up. We gotta stop the stream, stop the
You
stream.
can't do that, Riku.
Riku, you cannot just lay out the whole script.
I'm sorry. I
Girl,
should've
what you
said that
doing?
After game number 1. Right, my bad.
How do you say sorry in Tagalog?
Pasensya na.
Yeah, that's not happening. I listened to that once. I'm like, I tried to say it a couple times in my head. No, I'm gonna butcher it. All the Filipino
okay.
fans are gonna make fun of me. They're gonna be like, man, this gringo, he doesn't know. This guy.
It's okay. There are other words, you know?
Yeah, we've been working on a couple. I'll have to refresh them in between the series, see if I can flex them in front of the Tagalog master herself. Already this series, we already pointed out that in this game, 0711, main early bridge. And I want to see how well he can coordinate working with Xiaoma, because more than likely in the Senegragas lanes. Oh, wait, they got the pick off.
Oh,
And
Double J?
Devil J was not expecting
One
that
more-
Xiaoma was going to show up here. Oh, but a quick flash. Xiaoma could not get the last auto attack off in time. Devil J makes it out alive, but now Fado is insanely ahead in terms of tempo.
Yeah, that's really sneaky. FPX managing to get burning a flash. That means FPX can keep setting up for this 2v1 at the top portion of the map. Rather, we're expecting 0711 having to gank that lane constantly. Devil J as a Shen, you have a lot of counters against AD champions, but honestly, it's so early in the game, you have no items, no HP, no armor, you're gonna die pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's just a great adaptation from FPX, knowing that, hey, in a Yuumi lane, Exosin cannot really do anything level 1 to punish, even in a 2v1 against Lei.
Yeah.
So you get the roam timer off, Devil J's not going to expect it, and now you've already burned a summoner spell off of Devil J for Fado, so now this makes his early laning phase even easier from this point on.
Yeah, I super agree with you. I mean, the fact that RRQ, their mission is to basically try to slow down this bleed, enable the scrappy fights later on. But the thing is, this is a really good head start.
Exactly.
One thing that I want to see for RRQ's composition work, though, is that they do not have the Lee Sin on their side, and just as right on schedule, Rafa.
And Devil J, remember, he doesn't have flash, but Exosin reading the map movement, as Yezi was also on his way, is able to provide some relief to Devil J. Chaz and Helios also collapsing, but it's going to be a 4-on-4, and FPX, they're the ones that are going to be pushing RRQ away from the jungle quadrant as, Devil J, do you really want this fight? There's still 3 people here. Remember, Devil J does not have flash. The damage is enough from FPX for first blood, and Exosin has got nowhere else to run. Beautiful dive from FunPlus Phoenix. It's a double for 0711.
And again, FPX's patience has been paying off. And when we look at the previous matches from this team, they're very patient, they're very slow. They're waiting for the team fights, the big 5v5s. And now?
Oh, Helios, I can hear him popping off. He's looking for it. Whoa, Helios, the Zed Master. This is how he grinded the solo queue ladder back in his early days, the #1 champion that he spammed, and he's already showing on the world stage why you cannot give him that champion.
Yeah, nicely done, right? The Zed was going to be important in this draft. Helios was able to get that, and even getting 1 kill on the team for RRQ. That is a very, very good sign. Meaning Yedzi should be careful, should get stasis enchant, and so far so good for Helios.
Oh, we got some downtime. 2 minutes away from neutral objective spawn. We're all the way, like, a solid, what, like 20 feet away from the players?
Uh-huh.
And as soon as I heard Helios popping off, I was like, oh, a solo kill's about to happen.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it. He's on the Zed. And right now, right, for RRQ, this is interesting to me because they have the Yuumi. And one thing that I'm a bit worried about is how do you deliver the Yuumi? It's not like it's the typical Lee Sin. It's not like the typical Camille where you can easily get in the middle of fights. This is a Riven with a lot of mobility, yes, but they're very short bursts of dashes. So that is my main concern here.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have the Shen. I assume this is gonna, Devil J will be the main delivery system for the cat to go rawr.
You know, oh, whoa. Okay, 0711 saying, hey, back off.
Yeah.
This tower is ours. It is right on time at 4 minutes, so the turret resistances have fallen. They've gotten a solid 1,500 damage off of the turret. They don't kill it quite yet. Devil J still has flash to play with, but so much pressure already. It's under fire.
And what's going to happen here is FPX gets a lot of gold infusion in their team, and then they move to Rift Herald. Because of that gold, they win that fight. And now I love this from RRQ, though. They're responding as well on their end to even up the map state, and therefore RRQ has to make sure that they lay their ults properly in the Rift Herald fight. Because we know, although Infernal Drake has spawned, there is 2 options here. Either you trade, because FPX, when it comes to 5v5s, they're the better team. They are the best team when it comes to team fighting from the WRL, and that is scary. If you want to win against FPX in 5v5s, you have to have a 10k gold lead, a 5k gold lead. At this point where
you gotta slap them with the thicker wallets.
Exactly, Rafa. So if you do that, you're gonna be in trouble here.
RRQ able to at least even up the turret score, but the slight gold lead is in favor of FPX. Neither team is really in strong position to contest an objective, but package is available. Watch out from Yezi. Great cast from the side of FPX, catapulting Chaz right into the back line. It forces a flash out of him, and now the rest of FPX, they turn to the Rift Herald, but this will see the Dragon over to RRQ.
I love this from RRQ, right? They've already burned a lot of their ults, their key ults. They know that they're not going to be well equipped to fight this Rift Herald. Let's just back away. Let's just trade.
Or will they trade? Okay,
Oh,
okay,
they
okay.
did.
Well, Yezi has cut them off here.
Final chapter.
Final chapter from Exosin, forces the package out, and it defends the turret from going down. This Rift Herald, though, if it gets the crash off, it will get another turret here. Rest of RRQ, they try to get the taunt out. Ooh,
Wow.
nicely done.
They're able to prevent from that charge, therefore keeping the mid lane still up. That's going to be very important because we know that falls. 0711 is going to keep going into the deeper ends of RRQ's jungle, so that's extremely important for RRQ to keep.
Yeah, that mid turret, Riku, you see?
I see it.
See, that mid turret is like the dam that like separates FPX, which is the flood, that like just starts flooding into the rest of RRQ's jungle. If that turret stands up, at least RRQ have a way to defend the jungle entrances from being completely swamped over by FunPlus Phoenix.
I agree. I agree. That's why it's so extremely important. That dam is important. So FPX now, they have a lot of scaling to work with. They've got the Fiora where no one from RRQ is able to face against Fado later on. So RRQ here is in a little bit of a timer. They have to make sure that they get their leads early. Tick-tock, tick-tock is ticking, definitely. And right now, for RRQ, again, as long as they get the scrappy fights, they'll be happy. But there's no scrappy fights, Rafa. This is how this is FPX's game.
They're slowing down the tempo of the game. That's, as you said before, it gets really dangerous for RRQ because you want to play towards Helios and Chaz, being able to force fights. You have insane mobility on both of these champions, an assassin and a bruiser who, in many ways, if they get ahead, the Riven does feel like an assassin with the burst damage that you get out.
Truly.
So the fact that FunPlus Phoenix are navigating the Rift carefully and cautiously while still finding objective trades that are benefiting them more than RRQ is the thing that we have come to admire so much about FunPlus Phoenix. Even the fact that they've only played 4 stage games versus RRQ's 14 stage games so far in this tournament.
Exactly right.
Okay, well, Helios is going to go for the assassination on Xiaomo. Doesn't look like enough damage still. He's got Devil J assassins or ninjas working hand in hand. Delivery system forcing out Fado's flash. We got another skirmish in the river here. Chaz getting last broken wings down. Exison with the last chapter, forcing 0711 away, and Yezi bites the dust.
Remember, RRQ wants these scrappy, disconnected fights. They're getting it. They're wanting it. They want more kills. They want this tower.
Nice. Chain of Corruptions lands. Fado almost goes down, but it is Xiao Ma's Dawning Shadow that forces the opposition away.
You gotta love RRQ's strategy, right? They do have that big 1-3-1 available, and whoever is 1-3-1ing, either Chaz or Helios, then Devil J comes to the rescue as well. And you can see Exosen not exactly tagging along with the melees earlier, but it is a very good preventive measure. When you know 0711's coming at you, Fado's coming at you, then you just type, click, tap on final chapter, and let's take a look at that replay again, Rafa. It is so smooth. Again, the last stand United. Oh my word, stand United as well. As that combo is really crazy.
Yeah, the two ninjas working as
Hand in
an almighty
hand.
duo. Yeah, hand in hand. Be cutesy with it too. The rest of RRQ, I mean, they're homeboys, right? They're all homies. They spend a lot of time, and already you can see the fan section. And Qeon?
Yeah, Quezon City.
Quezon City. Okay, I don't want to butcher the name, but
You
Quezon
did
City,
well, Rafa.
they're going wild.
Yeah.
They're supporting the Drip Kings of the Philippines.
I love that. The Drip Kings of the Philippines.
Dude, I'm telling you, the jackets.
Yeah.
And the bling that they got. Oh my god.
So good. So
yeah.
good.
S plus tier on Jersey Emerge. However, FPX.
Rift Herald again.
S plus tier when it comes to team fighting and just overall control of the map. FPX already have started up the Rift Herald.
This is a 5v5. Remember, FPX is amazing at these 5v5s. This is scary for RRQ.
Yeah, you can't walk in when Yezi's got the
Nope.
package here. It creates a line of uncrossable territory.
Yep. It was a really dark map. Oh, Chain of Corruption's final chapter activated, though.
Yezi gets rooted up
I want
here,
this.
might be forced to use the package. Great stasis. Devil J gets knocked away by Explosive Cast, which buys enough time for Yezi to get out safely.
Fado.
RRQ turning towards the mid-turret. Do they catch out Fado? But he gets out. Nicely timed riposte. And once again, RRQ looking for that heavy skirmish style. FPX diffuses it completely.
And that's the thing. And this is another 5v5 incoming because 11 seconds on the clock. The Cloud Drake is about to spawn. And RRQ wants the non-objective timers to come up because that is their window to fight. Now it's 5v5 again.
Oh, I was about to say, the way both 0711 and Lei were standing there menacingly, I was
Yeah.
like, what are they about to do? Are they about to just like down smash RRQ right now? But it's a pause. We'll be getting back into the game as soon as possible. We are not halfway through the game, but we're well past the early game. We're in the mid game. Second dragon's about to spawn.
I'm gonna tell you. Second item of Marquee is a cheer. We are definitely not halfway through this game. This is gonna be 25 minutes, baby. I'm sure. Elder Drake, 100%.
Who's Iris?
Ooh, aw. It has a heart. It has a heart. Chaz, aw.
Oh man. The stakes just got upped here, Riku.
Speaking of Chaz, you know, we were before the series, like, you know, we were eating and stuff, and then we bumped into RRQ, and then we asked, how are you guys feeling today? You know, they're up against FPX today, and then Chaz went, very good.
Damn.
Very good. So I like the confidence, you
Yeah,
know?
dude, Helios was dancing to Shakira.
Yeah.
He had his headphones just blasting Waka Waka.
Such a mood. you know?
That is
That is a big mood.
peak vibes right there. And if you're feeling like that, I mean, you'll feel as good as you'll ever be taking on such a tough team like FPX.
Oh yeah. And then I'm gonna teach you another word. It's what Three Fingers said earlier when I asked them how is the team, you know,
Okay.
how is this matchup?
Oh, okay.
Three Fingers said, kayang-kaya. That means doable. We can do it against FPX.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do like, say that again?
Kayang-kaya.
Dayan Kaya.
Okay, kayang-kaya.
Kayan Kaya.
Yeah.
Oh, it was K but both times. Okay.
Kayang-kaya.
Kayan Kaya.
Yes. Absolutely. So, you know, the mood of RRQ.
Riku,
Yes.
best teacher yarn.
Oh, I love it, Rafa!
Got 'em!
You remembered the yarn. Gotta love it.
See, that's one of the Tagalog phrases that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got down.
Yeah, you just add yarn into everything and you're good. Definitely.
I do want to take some time to applaud FPX's just composure throughout
for
game
sure.
1 already. I mean, this is, remember, RRQ have played 14 games on stage. FPX have only played 4. They swept 2-0 in both of their series in the group stage to get into the knockout stage.
Yes.
They were straight chilling
Yeah.
after 2 days of groups. And now we got to see once again, even against one of the toughest opponents to come from the WCS, they're still remaining focused. They're still remaining unpressured, it seems like.
Yeah.
Even when RRQ is bringing some of, like, super relentless aggression, FPX are still holding on and saying, finding ways, okay, diffuse that,
It's
boom,
fine, yeah.
boom, bada bing, pow. We're still ahead in this game.
Exactly, and I feel like the only moment that you can make FPX sweat, because again, they're the best team fighting team. They seem to play slow at first, but it pays off.
Yeah.
Because you can't shut them down once the Elder Drake comes, once Baron has spawned, once even the first spawn of objectives,
Yeah.
like the Rift Herald and Dragon as we saw earlier. RRQ cannot penetrate the 5v5s at all. And this is a team that RRQ can get away with some of the 5v5s
Right.
because they're amazing at mechanics, but this only proves that FPX, in every single strength when it comes to a team, they have everything.
Yeah, call back to the 2 opponents that FPX did play in the group stage. First series against Flash Wolves. Flash Wolves, notably
yeah.
a team that wants to play for late, so FPX is like, all right, cool,
Sure.
let's handshake
That's
that.
what we do.
We'll team fight you, we'll beat you. Omega, the only team that they had played against so far that had pressured them super aggressively in the early game, and despite Brazil's #1 seed's efforts, FPX still managed to clutch out late game fights as we are now back into the game. 2,000 on the Dragon already. It looks like FPX should be able to secure this one. Smite comes
got it.
through 0-11-11. Chain of Corruption's already used. FPX does not get stunned up here, though, and the aggression once again
Ooh,
has been diffused.
Helios.
However, Helios found his way onto the backline on delay, but he is traded instantly by FPX.
And at the end of the day, this is FPX getting the Dragon for themselves, and they're able to protect this tower.
Whoa, flash from Xiaoma, looking
Xiaoma.
for the root on the Double J, getting a flash out of him as well, defending the turret to the very end. FPX not letting their structure go down.
You gotta love that, right? Using a flash to protect, using a flash for a potential play that 0711 can follow up. And look at the map, Fato has been split pushing all this time.
Oh, Double J is back, but the Rift Herald has already made the crash. The dam is down, Riku. The flood is coming in.
And RRQ has to prepare for that because once this is open, you know that 0711 is going to be planting these deep vision. He's going to tag along with Lei, going to tag along with the rest of the
plundering.
squad. I know! Like, look at the deep vision already. It's fresh from their pockets. Very healthy wards on that red buff. So RRQ, again, they got to be worried because this is the time FPXs can be aggressive and can go deep into their jungle.
And FPX is one of the few teams where normally we see teams play and make plans around, okay, this objective's coming out, how are we going to poise for this fight? FPX is one of the few teams, they'll look at a red buff or a blue buff and they'll say, all right, guys, game plan, huddle. Let's
Okay,
get
what
ready.
do we do?
Okay, you're going to approach this lane for the right side. You're going to come in through the bottom, push in this wave, crash it so that they have to either choose between red buff or tower.
Yep.
And we know that Chaz, he loves his buffs, so he's going to be like, guys, I really want this red buff, but the tower's getting destroyed. But I really want this red buff, guys. No, please.
No.
It's the jungle mentality.
Yes.
And it's like, I feel it as someone that plays a lot of jungle and mains jungle, and if I see the tower going down, I'm like, we don't need that tower, right?
It's one of those things, Rafa, where they do not only corner you in the map, but they corner you mentally. It's like you're paralyzed. Like, what do we do? What do we choose?
The walls are closing in.
Exactly, and that's the scary part about FPX, right? We're talking about not only their 5v5s, but their decision making in the game is so fast that you have to think quick and match them as well.
Such awesome power from FPX. It's what makes
Very.
them so fierce. A fierce phoenix, looking to soar and burn everything in sight.
Woo! I love that.
Boom,
Boom.
bam.
Double J though. I thought it was gonna be trouble. I got distracted a little bit by 2 things. The
It was boom and bam.
pow. Yeah,
It was boom and bam. See, we always got to find ways to bring TJ back into the broadcast.
Oh.
Shout out to the homeboy.
Shoutouts to my bestie.
FPX getting ready for this Baron. They are threatening it.
Package is up, yep.
The Fog of War giving FPX an unofficial 6-man and creating pressure for RRQ. Chaz forced to face check it just in case because he has no idea. And it looks dire for RRQ, but Chaz had to do it
He's
because they had no idea if FPX were burning down the Baron or not. And FPX get to use that to their advantage, chasing Chaz all the way to the second tower. For RRQ, they are grateful that their jungler gets out alive, and you see Helios on the other side getting a turret down.
And all this time, imagine FPX invested all their resources from wards to ults to map control. They gave up map control bottom side, and all this time, Chaz still survives, having Death Stands, having Exocen tagging along constantly with the heals, with Stand United. It was worth it.
They gave everything to keep Chaz alive because they knew if the jungler's gone, that means the smite is gone. And if the smite is gone, that Baron is gone.
Yep. Very, very tricky. And FPX planned this so well. On the other side of the spectrum, we've got FPX where they remove the dam, floods coming in, and that is FPX looking into aggressive plays in the jungle of RRQ, and that is expected. That is exactly what they said, what we said, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, FPX, they play the slow grind. They don't rush anything. They take meticulous steps, inching forward and forward, closer and closer to victory. And RRQ have to find those pockets where FPX, even no matter how efficient they are with their moves and rotations, there's always something that you can find. It may be difficult. It might be the 1% chance that FPX are slipping up, but RRQ always have to be ready, and that is the challenge against FPX.
Yeah, you can't really take a break just because Dragon isn't up.
Can't be caught slipping.
You cannot. You gotta keep your guard up at all times. And right now, because this Dragon has spawned, it's back to FPX 5v5 again. RRQ, they gotta avoid this. Do they take this? Because again, FPX is scary.
All right, Chaz has Exocen on his back.
Yezi?
Oh, Helios is actually just going for the dive on the Yezi. Forces a Valkyrie here. We have a split fight. 2 mid laners in the mid lane. The rest, everyone engaging into the river. But 0711 finds Marky on the backside, unprotected, assassinates him, and that opens up the path for FunPlus Phoenix to find the remaining members of RRQ. Take them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gone.
It's the FPX 5v5s once more, Rafa. And look at them now. They not only win that big 5v5, they're going to take more towers down. They're going to get more map control. And that is difficult because no map space for the big 1-3-1 that RRQ wants.
20 seconds. And they can do it. It's still 4 members.
Doable.
And Helios doesn't have the wave clear to be able to take him down. Okay. Wow, Helios is able to take out one onto Fado. Can he get it? But it's the Dragon's Rage from 0711. Finally sits Helios down, sends it back to the fountain. At the trade for the inhibitor, it is gone. And then Prime Gaming Ace comes in for FunPlus Phoenix.
Yeah, it was the very, very nice stasis by Xiaoma here to buy some time. You can tell Helios was just being very patient. He didn't have stasis himself, wanted a last auto attack, but no. The defense wasn't enough. Tower gone still in the mid lane, and the Ocean Drake's still alive, and we want to revert back to what we keep saying, Rafa. FPX, the best team fighting team here in Icons.
With this package available, even League just getting in the face, making sure, oh, and it's Exocen that he finds over the wall.
Godlike! 0711 is just, it seems so effortless. The way that he uses the Lee Sin, it's just so scary. Now that he has Guardian Angel, he has Blade of the Ruin King, by the way, Rafa.
Dude,
Battle Lee Sin and survivability.
That is a Chad Lee Sin build if I've ever seen. You know what? 0711 saw Long popping off on the Lee Sin in those fights, and he's like, all right, guys. Hey, coach, I need the Lee Sin.
Okay.
I gotta get the highlight plays. I need the casters. Talk about, whoa, they let the Baron 1700 HP. Healer goes in. Oh, but it's still 0711 all day, every day, baby. He secures those, no matter how close it gets to 0. FunPlus Phoenix now cleaning up the remaining members of RRQ. Upon Sam to the face of Double J, sending him back to the fountain. Marky gets blasted to the sky. FunPlus Phoenix now on the hunt, looking for Helios once again. Helios is here, but I don't know if they can 2v5 this one. FPX, they have the Baron minions, and Helios is doing everything he can. He finds one on a Shadow Ball. Deathmark already used. He's outplaying it. He's pulling out the Shadow Clones. He's doing everything that he can. But it is still FunPlus Phoenix that pull through and take game 1.
And with dominant fashion in every single team fight, in every single objective take, FPX, as we look at their faces, it seems like, again, just as I quote Hell's Devil, it's just another day in the office.
Dude, I mean, they know this is not the end of the series. This is only the beginning. Best of 5. When you're FunPlus Phoenix and you have a championship on your mind as the #1 goal for this tournament, they already took WRL in the playoffs. They're #1 in China. They want to be #1 of the world. It's not enough. And when that is the mentality that you have, you can't just be relieved after game 1. You gotta stay focused.
Yeah, you gotta stay focused. You gotta hammer down. I mean, when we watched that video, right, they said 3-0 for this series. So,
dude, it's still chills. It's still chills.
Strong.
Dude, FunPlus Phoenix, absolutely fierce in their play and in the way they demonstrated game 1. Analyst desk, Miku. Oh,
you combined
Miku. Take the camera off. No.
Miku.
Mika.
Combine our names. It's okay.
No, go off. Go away.
Miku.
Mika. I'm sorry.
Rafa, was that Tagalog?
You want to explain yourself?
Because at the beginning, he was like, "Whoa, is that Tagalog, Riku?" And she goes, "No, I just said what you said." You missed that? All right. Well, that's okay.
No, I like it. I'm down for it. Yeah.
Rika, Miku.
Rika, no, Miku. I like Miku better.
All right.
It's cute. It's cuter. But there we go. FPX leading with 1 game to their name, and right now, RRQ, they need to regroup. Right? FPX, as Riku mentioned, you know, whenever it's a 5v5, FPX, they just come out, you know, the better team.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this game was all about 0-7-1-1, really. We saw in the last series that it was all about Long on the Lee Sin. This series is about 0-7-1-1 on the Lee Sin as well, showing that it's not actually only Long that can play the Lee Sin. It's actually 0-7-1-1 as well. But I think the whole game was just around kind of a little bit of a stalemate, but it's also about Helios trying to still get the solo kills again and again and again. And there was a fight around Dragon where Helios tried to get the solo kill in mid lane, but Helios was just going in and in and in. But sometimes he just went a little bit too far.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like the way this whole game played out for RRQ. They're the team that wants to create chaos. They're the ones that want to take a bunch of small fights, and they did within the first 10 minutes, and then we saw the fans over in QC popping off, which was great. But then for the next about like 5 to 7 minutes, they were just kind of waiting and hanging out and not full engaging into the other team or trying to find multiple ways to get on in. It was more of FPX controlling the vision and then preventing RRQ to get the fights that they want. And because Exosin is on Yuumi, he's unable to get clear vision and get vision as well as he normally does, as we've seen him on, like Gragas, I would say, is one that he's played a ton to be able to just get in, get out, and he's fine. And you saw him get picked off a couple times there, and then they're trying to fight 5v4s.
Yeah, even the Rakan as well. I feel like, with RRQ, we know RRQ is like this team that likes to play aggressive, likes to go for the skirmishes as well. But like you said, Digon, you feel like RRQ just took the handshake, at points during the game. They were just like, okay, we'll scale with FPX as well. But the problem is, you scale against FPX, and you saw, as you mentioned, when it came to the team fights around the objectives, they get vision control. RRQ don't really have anyone to face check, except for really Exosin and his first ability on Yuumi. But you saw at times, Exosin was walking up by himself on a Yuumi and getting caught out by Lei, who had a really, really strong performance on Gragas.
Yeah, and I think Falu on the Fiora, just so solid. Again, constantly getting the vital mark, staying alive, hitting riposte in multiple different times where it felt very crucial to cancel out Devil J a lot of the time. Think about the laning phase that Devil J had. It was rough. They focused that top side of the map, which is when Helios started getting ahead. But then, as you pointed out, Helios started not fighting with the team as much, and so as much as he was ulting on someone across the map, the team loses the 4v4 on the other side, and exactly. that's what was happening. Yeah.
And while I feel like that might be a valid strategy, maybe against another team, it's not against FPX. I feel like at this level, with this kind of team, you pull stuff like that. So I think at RRQ right now, they need to regroup. They need to remember who they're up against. And that's a top seed of the WRL. This is a team that has not been defeated yet, if I remember correctly.
No, not here. Not here in the tournament. No,
Not
they
here,
definitely
2-0 so far.
Yeah,
2-0.
2-0
So we've
so
only
far.
seen 5 games of them as well. And the interesting part is that every single one of the 5 games, they picked Corki every single time. And Corki has looked like such a strong pick for FPX in general. And I feel like that's something that maybe RRQ can adapt to coming into the second game.
Perhaps, but I also feel like even if they, even if they catch the Corki, if they ban it out or something, I mean, FPX probably
Yeah,
still have
you still got everything else, yeah,
something
true.
else, of course.
Something else up their sleeve.
But RRQ, the beauty of this team is that they can be very, very chaotic and very unpredictable. I feel like right now maybe they have to lean into that. Maybe they have to do something like a little bit crazy that FPX might not expect. The question is, what does FPX not expect when they play so perfectly in Wild Rift?
Right. I think that's the tough part. I think when you look back on this draft and in this series, game 1 will be, hey, they got what they wanted, we got what we wanted, and we're going to play a little bit more. I guess we're going to play a little bit more edgy with the Zed pick there. Again, Helios is a Zed player, but Shen on the top side to help support everything else didn't pan out. And because it fell behind, then this draft doesn't work as well unless Helios gets so far ahead. But every time the Corki package and also building Hullbreaker made the Corki very, very tanky, and therefore not a lot of targets to assassinate here.
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult thing. We mentioned in the last series as well with the Zed. It's like when you pick a Zed, you really want to have a target that you can ulti on every single time. But the problem is, like you mentioned, Corki with the package, even Senna as well with the stasis and also the ultimate. You then have, who else you ulti?
Lee Sin,
Do you ulti
Gragas.
Lee Sin has Guardian Angel. Gragas can just ulti your way or just use Aftershock with the body slam, riposte from Fiora. Zed, I think in general, is a very, very difficult pick to try and master, especially in pro play at the moment. But like you said, it's a comfort pick for Helios, but I feel like he needs to, change things up and go for something, like you said, maybe a little bit more chaotic. Maybe the Rakan mid lane. Who knows?
Maybe. It could also be information gathering for RRQ. I mean, I might venture the fact that they might have been ready to lose this first game. So I'm interested to see what they're going to bring out in game 2. But FPX, they will be ready.
Right. Again, the Yuumi came through. It feels like you have to pick that. But it does take away a lot of what EXO does, which is the vision, which is the engaging. And we saw Marky miss a decent amount of the corrupting chains on the Varus. And so it was corrupting chains came out and missed, but final chapter trying to land on top of it, but then you only have one of them, the damage isn't there. And so I think that is something to look at and decide, is that an execution thing or is that a composition thing that we want to change up for RRQ?
Yeah, you don't really have a lot of engage when you have, Exerson on a Yuumi. You want him on like a Gragas or a Rakan or someone like that as well. The last time Exerson did play Yuumi was when Helios was on Rakan mid lane. There was a lot of engage on the side of RRQ, but in this comp, they didn't really have a lot of engage. Who goes in on the side of RRQ? Is it, the Shen that goes in, but then it's a little bit difficult because with Shen you want to use your ultimate? Is it Chaz that goes in on the Riven? We saw Chaz go in a few times, but then he got caught a little bit by himself. With
Exhaust is really strong. Yeah. It's very
Exhaust
strong.
is broken. please, Riot, nerf Exhaust.
and the scary part here for FPX is the way that they set this game up is different than the way that they have throughout their first 4 matches, where first 4 matches, the damage was done by Yetzi and Xiao Ma. Yes, 0711 got the kills, but it's 26% of the damage done by Yetzi, Xiao Ma doing 28% of the damage, and only 16% of the damage in the first 4 games were by 0711. This time on the Lee Sin, he shows, I can alley-oop to myself. I'm good. But we also have shown that our teammates can carry as well. So time to put Lee Sin on the ban list and put him back on the ticking time bomb. Put him on a Jax, put him on something else that will scale, and then pick those early game skirmish champs if you're RRQ.
Going into game 2 of this best of 5 series right now, we can see RRQ. They're a little bit more serious than usual, but they still have smiles on their faces. They also have something else actually on their faces. If you can see, some of them have a little bit of little markings on their faces. I think Marky has RRQ on his face. What stood out to me was EXO, who actually has the name of his daughter and his wife on both of his cheeks, which is really, really adorable. I think Chaz has a special someone as well, just to remind them who they're fighting for here on stage. Aw, Deacon, are you affected by that?
Yeah, there was a good one there. Well, very, there's always something towards remembering who you're playing for here, right? And again, we saw the passion of the fans over in Qeon City and how important it is for the whole region here, right? We've called it out on the desk. This is the best shot for WCS to get a team on in so far, right? Maybe Team Flash, the #1 seed, will find their form, but it has been RRQ, the different one, that has shown ways to win, and we'll see if they're going to be able to do that.
No, I saw the face you made a while ago, Digan. You know what we call that? We call it in the Philippines. We call it hugot.
Hugot?
Yeah.
Which means?
It means that you're feeling something else down there.
Yeah.
You're feeling something else.
Yeah. I mean, I want RRQ to win. Like I said,
Oh
I
yeah,
want RRQ to win.
sure. Okay, going into the bans right now, we're seeing that we have on the side of RRQ, no Jace, no Garrett, and no Wukong and FPX.
This is the most interesting first ban phase I think I've seen throughout the whole of Icons. No Yuumi ban, no Senna ban, no Karma ban. All these enchanters and all these strong, dual lane or bot lane carries that we talk about is all there. There's the Karma ban. But now, do you take Yuumi again if you're RRQ, or do you take Senna? That is a question. Oh, you just take none, and you just take the Singed instead as a first pick.
Yeah,
Wow.
people are always like, you should ban out this, you should ban out that. It's always about trying to get one power pick up for the blue side. That's what you're trying to do for blue side. For red side, you're trying to leave up 2. Now we've left up like so many, and FPX just taking away the Zed right off the top. You could just build Tiki here if you're RRQ.
But then
Just do what they did.
I mean, FPX don't pick up the Senna, they don't pick up the Yuumi. They're just leaving it completely open, and they're just like, okay, we're gonna prioritize it. And now Chaz is like, we're like flipping this around. It's a complete flip, and there's the Yuumi again. I mean, I think Yuumi and Singed is a really, really strong combo. I mean, FPX, again, the Corki pick for FPX, as I said, still 100% pick rate for FPX in this tournament so far out of 6 games. And then Yedzy's like, okay, Helios, I saw you play the Zed. I'll show you how to play. I'll show you how to really play Zed. And there's the Kha'Zix as well. So we go through a whole first pick phase without a Senna. That's incredible. That's crazy.
This is so interesting. Now we have Zed on the side of FPX. We have Kha'Zix. I was gonna say Chaz. He's basically Chaz is on the side of FPX right now.
All right, I guess a respect ban here. The Shen on the top side of the map.
And the Thresh as well on the side of RRQ, and none of that for Lei. I also wanted to point out the matchup between Exocen and Lei. These two have actually pro League of Legends backgrounds, both of them. So they are, a lot of FPX of course do as well, but as the backbones of both of these teams, it's going to be so interesting to see how they're going to play this out in a game 2, especially now that RRQ, they're going to want a little bit of revenge. They are fighting for a lot. It is an elimination match, ladies and gentlemen, so there is a lot at stake.
So the scaling is here so far with FPX, with the Kha'Zix, with the Corki. You have the Assassin that's going to try to snowball that. Chaz is on something that is aggressive early. That is something that I did want for Chaz. But the Yuumi, again, it's too strong for Exocen to not pick. And especially going through this big ban phase where Senna not banned. There it is. Yeah, Senna gets all the way to red side 4 here. What a draft.
That's a really interesting thing now. Is it Zed top lane now? Or do you just play Senna Corki bot lane, you play Zed mid? Because there's a situation where I feel like FPX's draft is a little bit all over the place now, because you have a Zed, you have the jungler there obviously, you have the Zed, you have the Corki, you also have the Senna. So I mean, it could be Zed Baron lane for the side of Fado. Xayah for Marky. I'm pretty sure this is a very, very similar, if not the exact same draft that RRQ played in the group stage, and they took a game off of, I believe it was JDG. It was Chaz with the early game regression on the Lee Sin. It was Marky in the bot side on the Xayah with Exocen on the Yuumi as well, and they were just prioritizing on trying to get Marky ahead on the Xayah. I can't remember exactly what team it was, but I know it was during the group stage, and I know this was one of the games that they took away as well, and then it's the Gragas. So it is actually going to be Zed the Baron lane, I feel like, for Fado.
a skill matchup here early on. Pre-6, right? Pre-6 or pre-5 before Zed gets ult and then can start having a little bit more kill pressure. But before that, Devil J needs to do something here.
And I feel like, if I remember correctly, it was actually me and Rafa that were watching the WRL finals with FPX. And I feel like Fado actually played Zed Baron lane. I mean, Rafa can correct me on that if I'm wrong, maybe if it was actually JDG in the final of the WRL. But this is something that Fado has played before, if I remember correctly. You know, the Zed in the Baron lane.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting second game, so let's toss it over to our casters, Rafa and RRQ, to get on with it.
Well, I'm getting on with it all right. And Stuart, I was trying to holler at you, boy. I was saying, yep, you are correct, sir. Fado on the Zed in the Baron lane. Just goes to show that even the Baron laners can play the assassins too.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing about the draft, right? You see a champion, you don't know where that's gonna go. Lucian mid, we usually see that mid. Oh no, it's top. This time around, we're gonna be seeing Fados, Zed, which that's correct. They've played that against JD Gaming in the grand finals, and it was absolutely scary. Imagine the damage output that 0711 has with the Kha'Zix and the Zed. So much burst damage, so much the execution potential. And for me, the little bit of good news for RRQ, they got a little bit of tanky members on their side.
It's always nice as an answer when you see double assassins being flexed from FPX in the first round of the draft phase. RRQ, the only person that is somewhat squishy is going to be Marky on the Xayah. And even then, he has a tool that can evade assassinations in the Featherstorm.
Exactly. Feathers fly. Exactly that.
Bam.
Boom. And I want to talk about RRQ's composition because just as the panelist has mentioned, this is not the first time we've seen this configuration of the Lee Sin, Xayah, Yuumi. It is the combination. The very first time we saw this was Kwangdong Freaks back at play-ins. They played this twice in a row. And it was Featherstorm into the final chapter. It's so easy because you blanket them with AoE CC and you just prevent them from moving at all. And that is the key here for RRQ. But the big difference is that RRQ used this so differently when they went up against J-Team. It was the Chaz and Exosen combo where Chaz would roam constantly throughout the map, find picks. He has the necessary damage, Exosen as well, necessary CC, and then look at FPX. Everybody's so squishy here. So this is primarily what RRQ intends to do. It's Chaz and Exosen for sure.
Yeah, Lei is arguably the only person that will be somewhat of a front line for this squad. But FunPlus Phoenix, after their Game 1 performance and victory, they're saying, you know what? We can go full-on carries in pretty much 4 of our lanes, and then we're just going to rely on Lei for engage. But RRQ looking to turn up the heat with the early dive. Right before 2 minutes here, Chaz trying to get this one off, and it is beautiful turret juggling from RRQ, netting first blood.
Yeah, really nicely done. The fact that they're able to burn flashes. Oh, well, Xiaoma and Lei still has his flash, but doesn't matter. First blood, really nice gank, and dive from Chaz at level 3.
It took 2 summoner spells from Exosen, a flash from Chaz, and I think a barrier from Marky as well, but they got it down.
Yeah!
RRQ able to strike first. Now FunPlus Phoenix. The question is, how can they still provide and play to empowering 0711 this game? Because now it is return to comfort for him. He's not on the Lee Sin. He's not required to be the early bridge. It is now FunPlus Phoenix who must now facilitate him so he can come online in the mid game.
And that's the thing, FPX doesn't necessarily require the first 4 minutes to have kills for 0711. We talked about how they get kills as well at big 5v5s, so Rift Herald is going to be extremely important for FPX to get him those early kills that they need. And meanwhile for RRQ, 5 minutes is a pretty good window for Chaz to take advantage. The fact that Devil J is on a champion once he's level 5, which he is right now, is a very safe champion. Activate Dominus if 0711 and Fado is going to go on the aggression, and then you're fine. None of these lanes are gankable early, by the way, when you look at RRQ. So much safety, so much tankiness. So FPX has no choice but to get kills in Rift Herald and Dragon Fights.
And they are just hoping that RRQ are not going to be as proactive and aggressive, but Lei and Xiaoma actually get the Featherstorm out of Marky. He's looking for the feathers, but now he's down HP, and he realizes, oh no, this fight is no longer going the way that I wanted it to be.
It's really hard. You're up against Xiaoma and Lei, who has a lot of healing potential on their kit, so if you don't have the damage, which Xayah doesn't have at this point of the game, you don't have Storm Razor just yet, you can just poke them out. That's it. That's all you can do against this lane.
Marky's ultimate will be back up for the objective fights a minute and a half from now, but this lane for Lei and Xiaoma. Despite the early dive, they had deflected any pressure from Marky and Exosin by themselves, and 0711 still biding his time, still on track, farming for the mid game.
And that is fine. RRQ, just as you said, is still right on track. What they have to do, though, is open up mid lane. And I feel like, again, Rift Herald will be extremely important because that's when Chaz can utilize and get a lot of value off of the Lee Sin, jump off of, pass through terrain, find 0711, and eliminate him with a combo.
Oh.
Is this a combo? This should be the combo.
Chaz was looking for the kick.
There it is.
Doesn't quite find the angle. It kicks 0711 to safety. Final chapter, and the rest of FunPlus Phoenix come in to punish.
Ooh.
And they have sent RRQ back to the depths. FunPlus Phoenix, give them an inch. Give them a small window where they can punish, and they will take everything from you.
Fado was even there. He was legit there. It is not even the time to take Dragon or Rift Herald. The rotation from FPX, they always have the numbers advantage. They always one-up you in these moves. You think you can get 0711? Guess what? There are other members around. And the fact that Devil J only managed to get a couple of turret plates, Fado is still able to catch that wave, get a bunch of farm. FPX is truly strong. Let's take a look at this again. We're looking for the trigger. We couldn't see the final chapter executed rather, and 0711 was out of range because of that kick. And again, your primary target is the Kha'Zix, and they couldn't get him. Boom, FPX retaliates, and they're able to win that skirmish.
And note here that 0711 actually willing to give his life by going back in.
Yeah.
Just to ensure that they won up the trade. If he had left, if he doesn't go back in that fight, they walk away. It's 1-1. But FPX, they say, no, we can get 2 more kills here.
And that kind of decision-making, these micro-decision-making rather, is absolutely scary because RRQ trying to catch them off guard, but guess what? They did the reverse, the turntables thing.
Reverse Uno, baby.
Yep. Rift Herald fight, though.
And look at this, FunPlus Phoenix. They burned down the dragon so fast that RRQ didn't even have a chance to set up for Rift Herald. They still have package, by the way. Yes, he's going to be coming in soon. Fado already using the Death Mark, gets kicked out by Chaz, but it is still the Death Mark that takes him down. There's no more jungle, no more smite for RRQ. So as long as 0711 can get into the pit, he can take it away. But Devil J is well aware of that, takes him out, but it is still Lei that secures the Rift Herald and the objective for FunPlus Phoenix.
And the fight may not be over. Devil J and Exosen still has to escape. Look at this, the covert operation of escaping, retreating out of sight. Stealth mission, baby. Here we go. Devil J is able to find his escape route, not spotted at all. And this is mission accomplished by Devil J and Exosen.
Devil J's out of there.
That's very sneaky. FPX couldn't find them, out of sight, out of mind.
He was deep in enemy territory. That was
really
super terrifying, but let's take a look once again at that fight.
It all started with RRQ wanting to trade, but because, as you said, FPX took this out immediately. Chaz was the primary target by Fado. No jungler, no problem. No one is there to secure that objective, and therefore big 4v5. One big thing, though, is Devil J. Activated Dominus, able to get off 2 people basically off of this fight, and it's the covert operation that we're talking about. Deep into the jungle. Fado tried to find him though, but couldn't.
Yeah, big things here for FunPlus Phoenix. The fact that they still secure the Rift Herald despite both junglers going down is huge. They are looking to take out this mid turret, and once again, they can snowball this into full control of the jungle quadrants of RRQ, and Devil J has stayed far too long. Stasis goes wide, he is spinning. The explosive cast might have catapulted him back out to safety. He gets out, but they are still on the hunt here, Riku.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought he could have gotten a double kill there. He was looking for it, and RRQ felt that. They could feel the bloodthirstiness that Fado had with their lethal HP bars.
Someone watching me. That was Devil J right there. He's like, hold up.
Good job, Rafa.
Where's the Zed? Final chapter being used, saying, please get off our turret. FunPlus Phoenix say, no thanks. We'll still take the turret, and we'll get out.
And RRQ is unable to get these exchanges at all. FPX has been winning the map the entire time, and while topside is about to go down, they're going to stick around, see if they can win this fight and get a root.
Root connects. FunPlus Phoenix don't pull the trigger quite yet. They're dancing. They're goading RRQ in.
We'll see, though. Oh my gosh!
Root connects once again. The damage is huge.
Teleport.
It forces Marky to burn the Featherstorm, and now they have to run. Teleport's coming in. Oh, Fado, and he knows. No Featherstorm. No way to protect yourself. Death Mark clips keeps him out of the fight. Exosin jumps away to Chaz. Dragon's Rage catapulting the members of FPX Phoenix away. He's forced to flash out.
Ooh, that was horror.
Dude, did you see Exosin? He's stressed.
He is so stressed. That was sweaty. There's so many times where you'd think that the death mark, or rather, Ignite was about to tick and kill you. Chaz was still fine. And now RRQ has a lot of pressure to build all of these stasis assists. Fado is an incredibly scary threat right now on FPX. He's 3-0-0.
Look at Lee.
Yeah.
He's
Lee.
waiting. Devil J is going to come back around, and he's going to look to punish. They have numbers advantage here. Devil J is getting pincered here, but they find Chaz instead, and it's Exosin on top of him. He dashes away.
Oh?
And now he's looking for the re-engage here, but it's a 5-on-3 right now. The rest of the members of FunPlus has got to collapse on in. Devil J burning down on HP. He's got to leave. Fado going in with the death mark, looking for the shadow clones. Not enough damage to take him out yet, but finally they find the first mark onto Helios. He's gone. And now the rest of FunPlus Phoenix, they have the numbers advantage. Woo! Over the wall! Fado being able to clip him out with the shadow slashes, and the shurikens taking him back to the fountain. This turret is going down, and the rest of RRQ will be sure to fall. Proto Belt into body slam for Lei. The stasis only delaying the inevitable. Fado is popping off on this ninja.
He is so massive right now. 5-0-0, and his positioning is so sneaky. You never know when he's coming. You never know where he's going to be coming from. Every single time, if RRQ, they have a lot of low health bars, Fado is there to finish off the kill. Let's take a look at that again. It's all because of Lei's sneaky cast that is able to propel Chaz in a very awkward spot. Again, Fado has eyes on the right targets every time. And if you're clumped up together like this, all the shurikens, all the slashes are gonna get you. If you're low health, that's when 0711 can finish these kills. And this is Fado, again, doing his own thing. With this 5-0-0, he's gonna be the biggest problem RRQ has to face.
And they've already taken out the second Rift Herald of the game. RRQ nowhere near, not even in position, because they cannot muster the forces and the resources necessary to take on FunPlus Phoenix. In game one, where RRQ were the ones proactive with the skirmishes, they managed to just tie FunPlus Phoenix in gold, but when it's FunPlus Phoenix forcing the fights, they find themselves ahead in gold, ahead of the play. The death mark into the package from Yezi cleans up Chaz. The rest of RRQ on the run. Fado looking for more, waiting in the bushes once again, and it's the pressure alone that seeds the dragon over to FunPlus Phoenix.
Fado has a basically red mark target on Chaz every single time. They know that all the playmaking tools will be invested purely on Chaz. You remove Chaz, you remove the playmaking potential of Exosin, and as well as the kick. Everything, dismantling what RRQ wants to do. And that is such a huge thing, and Fado keeps doing it, keeps finding him, and he executes it well.
And I have to say, FunPlus Phoenix are showing already a different side than what we saw in the group stage, because in their 4 games that they played, both against Flash Wolves, both against Omega Esports, they played the long game. They waited. And they said that, okay, you know what? The other team is either not doing anything or they are trying to push us early on. We're just going to maintain at least gold parity across the entire game until we get to late game. But the fact that FunPlus Phoenix have found themselves with the gold lead off of 1 or 2 plays, now FunPlus Phoenix are the ones on the aggression. They are the ones saying, okay, we're not going to let the pressure let up. We're the ones that are going to always be forcing RRQ into uncomfortable positions. Because when you are able to engage with double assassins, even against what supposedly is a bruiser comp, how can RRQ withstand that?
And this could be their potential play here. Look at Devil J leading into this death camp. Here we go. They don't get Fado. Really slippery. It's a ninja.
Got his flash.
Got his flash. Still has shadows.
Oh, he still has death mark. Looking to outplay this one. Fado doesn't have stasis quite yet. Clean kill and clean dive from RRQ, but it's at the cost of Devil J.
And tower is near the base.
FunPlus Phoenix. It took 4 members from RRQ to take him out, and they say, all right, we're going to take the base instead.
Here we go. Tower's going to go down, though.
Final chapter, roots up 3. It doesn't matter. Rift Herald has already done its job. The exhaust prevents any further damage from Helios. FunPlus Phoenix get all that they wanted.
You know how it feels to fight against FPX? It's constant deadlines, Rafa. I feel like you have no room to take your time. If you want to make a decision, you have to commit 100%, zero hesitation, and finish it within 10 seconds. Or else this happens. You have a deadline. If you miss the deadline, your base is gone.
We're bringing real world
Real
implications in here.
problems over here.
This got really this hit close to home, Riku.
I know, right, Rafa?
Do you want to talk?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
FunPlus Phoenix hitting hard like my midterm paper a few years ago. FunPlus Phoenix once again showing why they are not only one of the best teams in the world, but one of the tournament favorites here. As we said before, their mission was, after taking the #1 seed of the WRL, being the best team in China during the playoffs, their new mission was to be the best team in the world. And in the quarterfinals, it is 2 steps away from getting to the finals. And already RRQ in this second game, they're looking lost, Riku.
Yeah, this is looking to be a very difficult game, and every time RRQ is backs against the wall, they want to get these steals. We'll see if Chaz is able to do so, but without vision, you can't do nothing.
You have to throw yourself in there. You have to take a leap of faith. The Baron is stopped by RRQ. The package has been expended, and FunPlus Phoenix will now have to take time to reset and look for another play.
One big issue that RRQ will face is Fado. No one can face him at the moment in a 1v1 scenario. Is this a collapse? Look at Fado.
Fado is spotted on vision here. RRQ now look to turn right onto the assassin here. Death Mark is used, looking for damage back right on. Oh, he's going back and forth, and he's pulled them across. Devil J finally gets killing blow on Fado, but now they are turning onto the Baron. Chaz, can he get in range? 7,000 on the Baron. FPX know better to flip a 50-50. They turn right onto Marky. He's got no protection. Exison comes in with the heals, but Yezi cleans it up, diving into the back line, just like the other assassins on the team. But it's RRQ. Have they found the punish? FPX, it's all down to Yezi and Shalma, but it is still FunPlus Phoenix reigning supreme, and they wipe RRQ.
Crazy stuff. Again, it is Fado being that big distraction at the bottom portion of the map. RRQ forced to invest 3 people, and he bought so much time because he kept switching from shadow to shadow. Fado
back and forth, man.
Back and forth, back and forth. And immediately FPX knows, okay, we know people are down there. Let's start the Baron. If RRQ starts this, we win anyways because of the numbers advantage. This is the big rinse and repeat. This is the deadline again that we keep talking about. Don't finish your target fast. You'll lose a lot against FPX.
And that was the closest fight that RRQ have had this game. And it was technically a 3-on-5 and then later into a 5-on-4. But FunPlus Phoenix, they are still finding ways to clutch out these team fights despite the advantages that RRQ are able to find. And this kick onto Marky. No summoners available from the last skirmish. FunPlus Phoenix now 5-4 men on the Rift. Elder Dragon has spawned and it is being burned down.
Yeah, right now, look at Fado. He's joining the fight, not even using his teleport yet.
Watch Lei. He's ready to body check Chaz. He's going to prevent him from being entering into the pit. Fado is also there as insurance policy. Devil J get into the back line onto Xiaoma. Exosin is trying to deliver the damage with the final chapter, but it's still not enough. Already, Helios is gone. Devil J trying to follow up as well, but he has been routed off. FunPlus Phoenix have already taken out the supporting cast. One last 1v1 between Devil J and Yetzi. The GA has been popped, and FunPlus Phoenix stalling this one out as they're buying time to set up the waves as they take out Devil J for the Prime Gaming ace.
And look at that, FPX is ignoring everything. No Elder Drake. Let's just head to the base and end this game.
FunPlus Phoenix once again find Marky. Featherstorm used, trying to buy as much time as he can, but the Death Mark takes him out once again. Teleport is there. FunPlus Phoenix on match point. 1 game away from advancing to the semifinals. Will take game 2.
FPX is such a strong team, and we keep talking about their big 5v5s, but they've shown how if someone gets ahead, whether it's 0-7-11, and in this case it's Fado, they just hammer down that lead and not let you breathe.
After game 1, RRQ were still vibrant. They were still bouncing up and down, even though, despite the loss, keeping their heads in. That second game, it's a different story.
It is. It was a 10K gold lead. It was very... They basically targeted Chaz every single time. Fado...
Chaz didn't get to play the game.
Yeah, never. It was a gray screen every single time, and it's because of the death mark of Fado
Feels
being
bad,
consecrated. Yeah! Full concentration on... target locked, basically, on the Chaz by Fado.
But for FunPlus Phoenix, this is their tournament. This is how they play. And the fact that they're able to flip a switch between game 1 and game 2 like that, I'm now ready to flip it back over to the analyst desk where Mika is ready. Let's store to D.
Got it right this time.
I do like the Miku though. I do like it. I definitely approve. And now they're dabbing. But that's 2 games to FPX so far. And we really just have to point out how RRQ, they just really look like they were a little lost. They were a lot lost in this game, Stuart.
Yeah, I feel like RRQ, they tried the same sort of team comp. They tried the same sort of play style of what they did and how they won versus J Team, which was in the group stage. They played Chaz on this aggressive Lee Sin support, and it was really, really good that Lee Sin was on the support. And Lee Sin was on Chaz, sorry. They played aggressive during the Duro lane on Marquee as well, trying to get the Xayah Yuumi ahead, but they weren't able to get it ahead.
Yeah, and it was
this as well. This is what I was talking about. This is what they did versus J Team. They tried to go for the tower dives early in bot side, which they did really well in this game as well. But the problem is that when it got to the mid and the late game, it just felt like RRQ just got kind of a little bit lost. There wasn't really much they could do.
And it was that one right there that was such a unfortunate. Good play by 0711 on the Kazakhs, ulting going invisible, which then meant Chaz couldn't hit him. Couldn't see him, can't ult him,
yep.
And then he gets stunned up and then gets killed. And that was when the momentum stopped from RRQ because they were on the front foot for the first 3 to 4 minutes there. The game plan was very clear, as you said, kind of following up on what they did against J Team with the same exact composition. But from there, this fight was kind of messy. Although they had like a nice couple of kills there, they didn't get the Rift Herald. The gold then goes back on over to FPX. And it felt like constantly on the opposite side of the mat, you're wondering, why is Devil J there, but the rest of RRQ is opting into a 4v5 and losing, as expected, like when you're against a team of this caliber?
It's kind of like game 1 as well. Like game 1 was kind of Helios trying to go for the solo kills in the side lane. This game it was Devil J trying to like push in the side wave as well. But at the same time, they were still going for these same skirmishes that, you know, we're used to seeing from RRQ.
Yeah, and in the fights where Devil J was there, he was able to clean up.
Yeah.
You put down the Dominus, you get a little buff of health, you're able to cold Meek and get the damage out, and then it allows Marquee a little bit more space and room to maneuver. But after that, Marquee's just like, all right, I don't have ult because I got to use it. I don't have flash. I'm by myself. EXO is bouncing back and forth, which I think this Yuumi pick is a bait now. Like, I know it's strong,
No more.
but it's not how this team plays. EXO is constantly not able to set up the team. You got to get 1, 2, 3 hits of Lost Chapter, but EXO's so good at identifying the window right then and there. Something instant, like the Gragas, like a Set, like a Rakan. Give me something like that. Yuumi is not it. If someone else could play Yuumi on the team, that'd be great. But like, that's not how it works. I think you ban it away. It's a bait right now.
Yuumi Helios mid?
Maybe. Sure.
Don't give them ideas. or maybe do give them ideas. I'm not sure at this point. But yeah, 2 questions for you, Digon. First, like, do you think like they really do have to ditch the Yuumi? Second, do you think the split push is something that RQ needs to leave behind?
Yes to both those things. 100% yes, right? Now it's time to just fight. Force them into fighting. FPX looks like the team that I want RRQ to be. They are the ones scrapping, but they're the ones dictating when the fight happens because they're like, okay, you want to take a side tower? That's fine. We know we can beat you and collect the kills and get the objectives afterwards that will be worth you split pushing for a tower. The waves are right when they fight, and that is like so good by FPX compared to every other team in this tournament.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, we mentioned how FPX is so good at the 5v5s. I think that in order to beat this team, you have to beat this team there. You have to concentrate on beating this team with the 5v5. And all of these tricks, the split push and everything, you can't pull those off right now. Not right now, at least. Maybe should they, you know, start getting the momentum in, maybe they can try doing that. But right now, they really have to meet them at where FPX is standing, and that's at the 5v5s, the team fights, which they can't seem to get a leg up on.
I feel like I want to see Exerson or like a Rakan or something, get him on an engaged champion that we know that he can play, you know, an engaged champion. I don't want to see him on the Yuumi anymore. I think, like you said, I think Yumi's kind of a bait at the moment, but you know, get him on an engaged champion, get get like Helos on a champion that he can look to engage as well, and get Chaz on something with comfort.
Yeah, we're gonna see if RRQ does indeed switch things around for game number 3. It is time for a quick break, but before we go, here is the beatboxing caster. Very apt because we have a beatboxer over there on the side of RRQ. The beatboxing caster duo of Rafa and Riku in the HyperX call of the game.
Woo!
May not be over. Devil J and Exosen still has to escape. Look at this, the covert operation of escaping, retreating out of sight. Stealth mission, baby. Here we go. Devil J is able to find his escape route, not spotted at all. And this is mission accomplished by Devil J and Exosen.
I'm a young gun looking for a smoke show. Quick to draw and I shoot to kill. Do it all for the thrill of it. There she goes again. Pretty eye coming from the other side looking for sin. And bringing out the devil in. I'm an outlaw, cooler than the West Coast. I'm a young gun looking for a smoke show. Quick to draw and I shoot to kill. Do it all for the thrill of it. I'm an outlaw, glad it's on the East Coast. I'm a free bird looking for my next show. Quick to draw and I shoot to kill. Do it all for the thrill of it.
We are now at series point for FPX, and the question is whether RRQ can manage to get the ball rolling. And I think, of course, everybody really, really wants this team. I know a lot of fans over there in the Philippines and the WCS really do want this team to pull through. But right now, FPX, they are just looking like the team that is undoubtedly unbeatable in this tournament, Stuart.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this as well, you know, during the knockouts, you know, Chaz had the most kills in the entire tournament. Exerson had the most assists in the entire tournament as well, but this doesn't feel like the RRQ to me. Get Exerson on an engaged support, get these players on champions that they're comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, on the opposite side, the game 1, resources into Helios to be the carry with the Zed. Game 2, it was on to Marky on the Xayah. Game 3, put it on Chaz. Put it on Chaz, and then get Exo off of freaking Yuumi, man. Put him on a playmaker, not just a heal cat.
Let's go.
This is probably the only time wherein I'll say, okay, no more cats. That's the only time I will say it. Don't see it in real life right now because, of course, I think Riku's wearing, wore some cats over, sometimes here on the analyst desk. So let's bring it over to her and to Rafa for game number 3.
Cats.
You know what? I was contemplating that what is the significance of Miku?
Oh.
Just to save face. And I was like, you know what? It's the duo name between you and Mika.
Ah.
See, you guys are cute. You're besties.
We're besties.
There you go.
You're right. Nice save.
You weren't supposed to say it was a save. It was all intentional.
Oops.
Kicking off the draft for game 3, FunPlus Phoenix on the brink of not only eliminating RRQ, but also on the brink of advancing to the semifinals, joining Nova Esports in that bracket. And now, if FPX can live up to what they said in the teaser, we're going to 3-0 you. That is a dominant way to assert yourself as one of the tournament favorites in the semifinals.
Oh yeah, absolutely, right? Just as you said, Rafa, #1 in China, much, much closer after this series. Especially that 1 win away from 3-0ing as we talked about it. And it's so crazy because FPX, we haven't seen them sweat yet, we haven't seen them nervous yet because again, the big 5v5s has been one of their biggest strengths in the team, and as well as if 0-7-11 or Fado gets ahead, boom, 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 you're gonna have a hard time.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
Absolutely.
Just like that.
Yeah.
We have such a way with word besties.
I know, bestie. I love it.
RRQ looking for their final ban. It's tough, honestly. They tried the Singed. They realized that in 2 games now, the Senna for Xiaoma has been unrelenting in the pressure that it provides from the backline.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult to assassinate as well, as we saw in both games where either Chaz or Helios was on assassinate Xiaoma duty, and it was difficult to do.
It is. It really is. The fact that Xiaoma also has amazing
Oh my
roots for the
goodness.
team. FPX's turn to say meow meow, but I feel like this is more of a big roar.
Talking to Lei right before the start of the series, and I just cast him a good luck, and he was cheerful, completely joyous. You know, really matching the vibes of the Yuumi.
Yuumi.
But also, you would never suspect that Lei would be so fierce and so confident as well in the way that he engages. But you take a look back in their grand final series of the WRL against JDG, who against someone like Doki, who a lot of people were lauding, oh, this might be, now that J-Team had a fallout after the regular season into the playoffs, Doki might be the best support here. Lei has showed up, and now going from Gragas to Yuumi, he is taking off the hands in terms, he's taking off the brakes. He's like, all right, my team, I'm just empowering you guys.
Yeah.
Carry on forward.
Basically, is not on the driver's seat anymore. It's on the passenger seat, behind whoever's going to deliver the final chapter. And it's most likely 0711 on this Jax, if that is indeed to him. Moving over to the other side of the spectrum, though, RRQ this time around having the Thresh. Exocen, I remember back in the WCSPH, there were 2 amazing Thresh players, and one of them Rocks, and now we have Exocen as well. It's been a while since we've seen his Thresh, so I'm so excited. This is basically their last stand, Rafa. If they have a lot of champions deep into their pockets, a lot of their strategies, this is the time to bring it out.
RRQ have almost exhausted their entire toolkit. We know from their time in the WCS, there are still a few more tricks that they can pull up their sleeve, but the time has come down to a wind, where RRQ, you got 2 choices left to round out both Helios and Marky's picks against FunPlus Phoenix. And it seems like FunPlus Phoenix just get to play to some of their comfort picks. Once again, it is Jax. First time for 0711 this series, but something that he is no stranger to. And when you got a Yuumi on your back, I mean, the Jax, if you get to the late game with FunPlus Phoenix, which they have been able to do so successfully in the past 2 games, that is the ultimate raid boss.
Yeah, absolutely. The Jax can get massive. Actually, a lot of the teams, when they draft Jax, either you farm away and then fight later at the 3rd Dragon, at the Elder. But this time, FPX, they've been so confident in early 5v5s that they can immediately utilize 0711, send them into battle. You're ready, because you're 0711. Meanwhile, for RRQ, a lot of these bans are very key, right? Because if you ban the Wukong, that means you have a lot of melee champions. RRQ, we're expecting a lot of melee champions from RRQ to just dash in. So now, backs against the wall, what are they going to pick? Are we going to be finally seeing Marky Morgana, Marky Lux, which is, again, very amazing at early game. You have that global presence with the final spar, and when you look at FPX's composition so far, it's perfect, right? A lot of squishies. Instead, they opt for a Morgana, which means Black Shield to Helios to Devil J to Chaz to make sure that they do their thing.
I love the way you phrased that.
I know,
You know, there's so many ways you could have ended that, and it's just like, to do their thing.
They have to do their thing.
Yep.
Match point for FPX now.
Kha'Zix and Riven can get into the heart of the backline, try and take out either Yezi or Xiaoma on this Corki, which now will be joined by the cast of Ashe, giving global pressure with those the Enchanted Crystal arrows. The assassination potential, if you get the Black Shield on top of them, you prevent CC upon entry, which makes the assassinations easier to execute, or at least in theory. But FunPlus Phoenix now get to round out this last pick for Fado.
Oh, it's a Garen. Okay, it's a Garen. It's okay. That's a Garen.
Frontline.
Frontline. And because FPX is anticipating RRQ to go full melee composition, and I say full melee because, so this is RRQ's chance to deviate. Do they want Akshan? Do they want Lucian mid? I hate to say Lucian mid because, you know, his win rate has been pretty sad.
Oh!
It's Akali! So it is indeed full full melee composition. This is exactly why FPX picked the Garen, because you get a lot of value. You get a lot of value.
Now,
Plus,
hold up.
Ashe. Ashe.
Oh, is it Ashe mid? And not only Ashe mid, we also have Riven mid for Helios.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they were suspecting that we're going to try to take the Riven into the Corki. Now, the theory behind the lane of Riven mid, you should be able to gap close onto any ranged champion.
No, but with Ashe though, it's very difficult. That's exactly what, you know, FPX read the draft from a mile away after seeing the Wukong ban. We know that they know that RRQ is going to field full melee compositions, and Ashe is the biggest bane, right? You spam volleys from far away. You can't exactly go near. You have to find a different angle. You can't go front to back by dashing from front to back. You gotta find a different angle.
Well, for RRQ, they don't pick one assassin. They don't pick two assassins. They pick three.
Aha!
And if that is the case, RRQ, you said it before, you cannot attack FunPlus Phoenix straight up from the front door. You have to go through a hook on the side, a flank from the left.
Use the window, climb.
Use the back door
Yeah,
as
the back
well.
Door, the window, the chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah, never the front
Take the
door.
subway under it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Build a tunnel. I don't know where we're going with this, Rafa.
Well, you know what?
But they get us.
RRQ are going to have to find out. Destination Reverse Sweep is in the name for RRQ, where FunPlus Phoenix, they are on the doorstep of victory and advancing to the semifinals.
And this is going to be tricky because RRQ's draft is basically saying, we're going to win this through purely mechanics. We're going to land all our shots here, Exocen with the death sentence. We're going to land all our bindings.
And look, already Fado doing something great here with Yezi, because the one level where Helios can really just dash in and try and ruin Yezi's day is level 1. You have 3 gap closers in the queue. Clear the instant wave. You get Xiaoma on the back foot. Marky and Exocen really turning up the heat, trying to get a summoner advantage. Maybe press and set up something. Oh, flashlight from Exocen. There we go. RRQ on the board in less than a minute.
Surprise! You mentioned it straight up.
Death Sentence lands. Dark Binding connects. There's a Torment on soil. Lay's got nowhere else to go. He's going to try to battle this one out. Tries to trade it in back, but now Marky has the auto attacks and he has the minions. RRQ 2-1 at 1 minute and 10 seconds into the game.
You gotta love how action-packed the 2v2 is. Primarily just 1 minute into the game. This is, again, RRQ backs against the walls, and we talked about it, right? Marky and Exocen, in the entirety of the RRQ cast right now with their composition is basically very mechanics-based. You have to land every single thing, you have to dodge every single thing, and it's going to be incredibly difficult. But this is the RRQ special, right? They want these skirmishes, they want the mechanics, and this is a big statement right now.
Oh, it's going to be a 3v2 against 0711 and Yezi. Forced immediately away. They're just looking to push the wave ASAP. Exocen looking for a death sentence, doesn't connect. Scuttle Crab, it's going to be a trade and a handshake over.
We're going to be fine. Marky's going to be fine with just Xiaoma and Lei without the final chapter just yet. And that is what we continue, that we want to see from RRQ, where Exocen will constantly keep assisting Chaz and Helios to make sure that they, again, 5-minute mark. 5-minute mark is going to be so important because if Rift Herald spawns, 5v5 comes, and RRQ is going to have a hard time if they don't have that lead just yet.
Right, and it's up to RRQ to just brute force their way. You can no longer be concerned about the execution and how clean the fights are going to be. You just have to force it.
Yeah, you gotta force it, be scrappy, be messy.
Yeah, even if it's a low percentage play, you have to take it if you are RRQ in this position. You have no more room for, okay, we can play it safe.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, this doesn't look good. We'll try it next time. There is no next time. This is the last game.
And it's FPX for 2 straight games. They were very confident, unfazed, unshattered, not even close to making them sweat. They were chill. And that proves that those 2 games against RRQ, that RRQ still hasn't cracked the code of FPX. Hasn't matched them in 5v5s, hasn't gotten the lead so far. It has always been 0711 and Fado finding these kills.
And that's why RRQ, even if there's kills being traded, if you are an RRQ fan watching from home hoping for the lone Filipino representative in this tournament, you just have to hope that RRQ are just going to do everything. If they see an opportunity, no hesitation, you got to jump on it.
Yeah, and that's so exciting to see because Devil J on Akali, Chaz on his best champion, by the way. Yeah, this nickname has his nickname. It's just Chazix.
Chazix.
Chazix,
That's right.
baby. And Helios as well, who has been playing a lot of things.
Oh, good read from Exosin. Once again, he's roaming, he is proactive, and linking up with Chaz, finding a kill in rotation where Fado is caught slipping.
You gotta love this, right? Arrow from down mid. Doop, boop.
Does it land the mark on the Marky? You know, he weaves right around it, and he's looking to lock him up. Soul Shackles under the tower. Dark Binding connects. Marky's able to trade some damage. Helios is here for the rotation, ensuring that he can protect Marky in case the dive continues from FunPlus Phoenix. And they're burning down this tower. RRQ will take first brick in Game 3.
They're doing it. This is basically the constant pressure that we see when some of these teams do, especially at the WRL, right? They play top and jungle. Either kill your top, get turret plates, kill the tower, transition to Rift Herald. And now RRQ is doing that as well, infusing more gold onto their carries.
And as you called before at the top of the game, when FunPlus Phoenix locked in Yuumi, Lei said, listen, I saw you play the Yuumi, and I showed you that when you take Yuumi, I get to have free control of the map. Yuumi wants to scale. Yuumi has a nice laning phase, but I get to make plays. Exosin says,
okay,
you're right. You're absolutely right. So I'm going to make plays as well, and it has to be what RRQ looks for. As Exosin is here on the Dragon Pit, finds an unsuspecting 0711. Enchanted Arrow lands the target onto Exosin, forces the flash. Helios stunning up Xiaoma. They're forced away. Dark Binding connects Helios on with the play, forcing the flash on 0711. Devil J's in there. Perfect execution. Finds its mark on Xiaoma. Gonna get out though, but the kiting from Yezi locks down Devil J. Gets a trade back. RRQ are the ones that walk away with the dragon.
And remember, for this entirety of the series, RRQ hasn't won a single 5v5 against FPX. That was definitely one of the best fights for RRQ, and now FPX cut their losses. You saw 0711 decided, okay, we lost one, let's not fight this. I'm gonna get Rift Herald instead and make it into a trade.
And throughout all of that, RRQ find themselves with the first gold lead in this series, and they continue accelerating it, catching 0711 out without a flash. RRQ continuing the pressure.
This is looking really good for RRQ at this beginning. And again, they talked about...
Did you see Marky?
Yeah.
Dude, he stood up. He's like, all right, I'm feeling the mojo again. And, and if you are RRQ, you need that morale back. One of the things that we talked about for RRQ, why they were so exciting to watch as a team, is because of the swagger that they had on stage. The good vibes. If you don't have the good vibes, RRQ are not at their best, but they regain it off of this fight.
Exactly. Let's take a look at that again. It was the amazing positioning from Devil J and the Helios thing, and he went dashed in. Look at that. The Shuriken, Devil J flips, and because you're way hidden in the Twilight Shroud, final chapter couldn't find its primary target. And RRQ used that distraction. Look at
Qeon City exploding.
With all the light stakes.
The hopium is pouring through the screen right now. They are believing in their team. And RRQ finding themselves 3,000 gold ahead of FPX, the largest gold lead they have had all their series. Can RRQ continue building upon this?
That's a possibility. Remember, RRQ, when they get the lead, when they get the momentum, when they feel it, then they keep hammering down that lead. So we'll see if they can take advantage of these windows.
Just Enchanted Arrow does not find its mark once again. Helios dodges around it, looking for the engage, forcing the flash out of Fado. That turret will fall. FPX are trading back on the other side of the map. Devil J already using the first cast of perfect execution. Can he find it on Xiaoma? Looking for the last bit of damage. Xiaoma flashes over the wall.
Nicely done. Trade by FPX and RRQ there. Looks like Yezi once mid lane. Collapse. Whoa, Exosin flash.
Dark Binding doesn't connect. Yezi still has flash and barrier. Final chapter used, but Yezi is caught out. Nowhere else to go. Lei falls as well. 2 members gone. What can RRQ take?
This is a little bit difficult, right? Like, you're an Ashe, yes. You wanted to get more turret plates, yes. But the collapse from RRQ, they were investing a lot of things, like they were using flashes just to make sure that they can punish Yezi for getting turret plates in the mid lane.
The package from Xiaoma pushes RRQ back. They throw down the Rift Herald. This turret is going to fall unless RRQ can manage a miracle. Tristan Enchanted Arrow forces the fight. 0711 immediately jumping on it. The package falls up as well. Exosin is eliminated. And RRQ have been silenced as they go for it. Oh! Demacian Justice almost finding a spark, but he is killed mid-air.
Unable to finish the target, unable to land the Justice. Here we go, another fight.
Another fight in the jungle, another scrap. RRQ, they know the name of this game, FPX. I don't even know if they got the blue buff off of that. I
think so. Chess has a blue circly thing. So I would like
I'm going to trust you on that one,
Yes,
Bestie.
he got it. Yes, believe in me.
Good job, Bestie.
Yes, thank you, Bestie.
RRQ still 3,000 gold lead. They have not been able to build upon this in the past couple of minutes. FunPlus Phoenix trying to maintain and ensure that the deficit does not grow large here. If they can hold on and allow time for 0711 to scale, he's not at 2 items yet. And you can see that with the chain vest, I imagine, this is probably either going to be a Death Stance or a GA. And you can see that he is pressed to be a frontline member instead of a carry this game.
Because again, FPX wants to do 5v5, especially earlier onto the game. That is their game plan. That is what they do. And for RRQ, since they're in the lead right now, FPX has a ton of respect, considering the fact that they're so squishy.
0711 jumps immediately onto Chaz, forces him to leap away. The final chapter connects on to Exocid. Demacian Justice connects this time around. Another engage onto Chaz, forced to stealth out. Yufado already spinning, doing a lot of damage, but Yezi and Xiaomong cannot continue the artillery over the wall.
You cannot commit to this big 5v5. At the end of the day, FPX has won that as they have eliminated EXO. Now we get to see part 2 of that fight that we didn't get to see fully complete because Rift Herald has spawned. I feel like, you know, FPX definitely needs more of that Rift Herald because you get tower plates to infuse more gold onto 0711. Never mind. They're going for the dragon.
FunPlus Phoenix. They say, big dragon.
Uh-huh.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I must have.
Must have dragon.
Must have dragon. Well, RRQ say, you can't have the dragon. They push him off.
They have no vision. They only have the scuttler.
It's right on cue. 0711, can he get in here? He's known for stealing objectives in the WRL, and he brings it to the forefront on the big stage as well, right under the noses of RRQ.
He spun his lamp around. I mean, entered the pit, spun his lamp around. Hello, bye-bye. That is the most casual steal I've ever seen.
Imagine if he had a real weapon.
That is true. Imagine.
Imagine. And now RRQ, they're pressed to see if they can take out this Rift Herald. Chaz secures it, and they make the exit out. No fight, no contest from FunPlus Phoenix.
And right now, FPX is still right on track. They've managed to close the gap, the goal deficit, into just 2K. Earlier, it was 4K. And RRQ, with the map slowly growing smaller, which doesn't make sense, growing smaller. It is FPX preventing RRQ.
It feels like it, though.
It feels like it, right?
It physically isn't getting smaller,
but it's growing smaller.
But mentally
it's growing smaller. And that is a problem because RRQ wants to force these fights. They cannot afford to wait for objectives to fight. They have to force the issue, just as the AD has mentioned. Gotta find these opportunities. And with now FPX full control and the map at the moment, might be a little bit difficult.
We gave applause to Exocin taking advantage of the Thresh Yuumi matchup. We knew that it was on him, one of the longtime veterans, not just in Wild Rift, but in esports, coming from League of Legends back as early as Season 3.
Oh, yeah.
Exocin making the changes necessary, the adaptations to bring RRQ an early game lead. But we are now almost into 13 minutes of the game. That early game lead, that 3,000 gold lead that we saw in the mid-game, it is not ballooned any further. FunPlus Phoenix have done such an amazing job of stifling the blows here. But just as I say that, 0711 might get caught out here, but he's got Lei in his back pocket to keep him topped off with the healing. Dark Binding connects here. Helios capitalizing and finds the mark on the Yezi, silencing him. And this Rift Herald will crash. They could get this turn, maybe more.
Marquis bindings have been stellar in this series. I mean, in this game.
Whoa, Double J flying in. Perfect execution. Final chapter, keeping RRQ at bay. But can they keep 3 assassins at bay? And it looks like they're pushing further into the turret. Perfect execution almost finds it, but it's a beautiful stasis from 0711 that cancels out the damage. Devil J is gone, and the rest of RRQ can't push any further.
Oh, FPX again. Their team fighting is so good. Another fight?
The slow from the Void Spikes.
Ooh.
Dark Binding connects. Another
Wow.
Oh my goodness, RRQ.
Rafa, you saw, wait, part 2? No, they're not gonna commit. I wanna say that Fado tried his best to zigzag his way out of there, out of the skill shots that Marky was throwing, and Marky is able to predict.
RRQ, you can feel that they are giving everything that they have in the tank to push this lead, to further accelerate it. They are now 5,000 gold ahead of FunPlus Phoenix.
Yeah.
There's still another dragon before the Elder comes up. That is when you have to be worried if you are RRQ.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to face the big, 0711 here on this Jax. He has Withstand, he has Death Stand. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to kill him now. And the best thing for RRQ though is they have Chazix on a 403 score, ready to pounce, ready to slice ya, ready to deal burst damage, because FPX, look at their composition. Everyone is squishy except for Fado. If you're able to funnel all your damage onto 0711, you are good. You are set.
And this time around, Helios, both him and Devil J are very well fed. They have plenty of resources, they have assassination potential. Devil J is in this 1v2, but he's baiting for RRQ to be able to collapse. Crystal Enchanted Arrow negated by the black shield from Marky. So now they get to collapse with full strength, but it doesn't seem like they're doing any damage. Devil J has to retreat. He's tagging out, and the rest of RRQ are going to follow suit because they cannot take down 0711.
Shocked. I am shocked. Imagine RRQ. Remember, Rafa, the deadline. 0711 and Lei were basically just 2 at top. The rest of RRQ were basically there. They couldn't finish him off in time, and guess what? The rest of FPX were there. It was a time mission. That deadline hurt RRQ. They aren't able to finish off the kill.
Because we talked about the timer that 0711 has coming online as this Jax.
Yeah.
We completely avoided that Lei is also on a similar timer as well, because he's stacking a ton of ability power with the 2 items already completed, a third one being worked on as well. It's not only a ton of damage coming out from Final Chapter, but it's also the healing as well from the zoomies that keeps 0711 alive in these fights.
And it's so perfect too, because if you have a lot of AP damage, look at RRQ's composition. They're so squishy. You're gonna have to pick between armor and magic resist.
The redemption, the damage reduction from Fado as well, a pick like that earlier on in the game would have been instantly a kill, but the Crystal Enchanted Arrow this time, it finds the mark on Exosin. A numbers advantage has been gained by FunPlus Phoenix. Helios popping Blade of the Exile, looking for the damage. 0711 goes golden, buys some time. Counter-Strike is there. They have to retreat. They're giving respect over to RRQ despite having numbers advantage, but they return to the Dragon.
Look at RRQ though, they're going towards Baron. But this Hawkshot's gonna spot them out. Nope, joke. They're not doing Baron. They are.
They are.
Wait.
Okay.
No, it's a bait. They're trying to bait.
They know the Hawkshot came out. RRQ, you can see they're trying to find a play out. Oh, Faldo will be the one that face checks it. Doesn't have the damage reduction. Crystal Enchanted Arrow got the stun once again. 0711 leading the charge, flashing forward, takes out Marky!
He's alive!
And now 0711 finds stragglers from RRQ all scattered about. It's easy pickings.
One word, Rafa. Spirit Visage. Well, 2 words, actually.
I was about to say, I didn't want to correct you, bestie, but you got there.
Yes, I got there, bestie. But Fado, I cannot believe he survived that.
He's so tanky.
Yeah, he survived 1 HP, walked around, and recovered and got HP back again. And RRQ tried their best to bait that out. But if you're against an Ashe comp, none of them, you can't keep that a secret. You can't bait it out at all.
The cooldown reduction is so crucial from Yezi. Exosin.
Teleport being bought though by Double J. They want to go in.
Oh, Chaz gets found out here, and the rest of FunPlus Phoenix stop the Baron, try to jump onto the bug, looking to squash him. Exosin buying space for his jungler to get out alive. If the jungler goes down, there's no spine, and the Baron is surely gained over, but Helios is pushing in the mid lane, I believe. He was looking for an inhibitor trade, and if they can stop the ports from FunPlus Phoenix, maybe he can get more. It is only Yezi that is returned, so it stops Helios in his tracks. He can't get the inhibitor. FunPlus Phoenix returns to the Baron.
And they decided to call that mission quits.
Marky has been found out, forced to flash away. 0711 still on the hunt. Crystal Enchanted Arrow is going to find its mark. Not JK. RRQ losing out on their Dragon Laner. And once again, we are back to the Baron dance.
Yeah, FPX, this is the timer, right? 18 minutes on the clock. Look at Helios. Look at the 3 members of RRQ. They're going
out to RRQ. Chaz forced the flash away. Rest of FunPlus Phoenix, they're constantly pulling in RRQ, getting members low, restarting the Baron. They have the healing, they have the health to do this. They can continue repeating this dance until RRQ can no longer endure this cycle. Devil J sees it's 2,000 HP, but the Baron is secured. Helios is in back into the mid lane, and he gets the inhibitor trade.
But it's fast ports now coming from FPX, so Helios cannot push any further. FPX has sealed the deal, right? Look at 0711. He is unkillable. He has Guardian Angel, Wit's End, on top of Lei being that big heal tank for FPX. This is going to be extra difficult for RRQ to penetrate through the defenses, through the healing that FPX has. The biggest test right now is to defend from this Baron buff from FPX, and the next would be Elder Drake if they do manage to survive this one.
And the back of this coming up in the next minute. RRQ have no time to waste. They have to decide whether to engage on the FunPlus Phoenix before the Elder Dragon if they want to look for a secure on that objective, or they have to let FunPlus Phoenix take away structures with this Baron push.
And here we go. FPX can feel it. FPX can feel a 3-0. They're so close. RRQ right now losing a lot of resources, losing a lot of things on their base. Arrow doesn't hit, but the Baron buff still lives.
RRQ backs against the wall here. Inhibitors left in the mid and the bottom lane. 2,000 HP. FunPlus Phoenix, the first inhibitor towards semifinals has been knocked down. The second inhibitor to semifinals has been knocked down. FunPlus Phoenix, they are literally on the doorsteps of clinching this series and advancing.
They're so close, Rafa. I mean, look at the gold. It is still quite close versus RRQ, but looking at the map state, looking at the composition where they've scaled 0711 is going to be unstoppable. You can see how he can go alone. He can spin his lamp and go alone. Counter-strike, no fear against RRQ's composition. And as long as he's with Lei, he's gonna live. And on top of Sterax, he is not gonna die, Rafa! I swear he's not gonna die. Never. 21 minutes starting from now, never.
The healing combined with the defenses from 0711. This Jax, we talked about it during the draft stage. We said that RRQ, if you cannot close this game out, it is 0711 who will become a raid boss past the 20-minute mark.
He is right now.
And it has come to pass.
Yes.
We have arrived at that point. So RRQ, the biggest challenge of the series so far, it is now here. Can they overcome the toughest opponent they have faced in Icon so far? FunPlus Phoenix at their peak, at their core, and they have started the Elder.
Yeah, this is the last stand for RRQ. FPX, they can taste it. They're starting this Elder right now. Look at Helios, he's quite far away though.
He's gonna make the long trek. Already 6,000 HP, 0711 forcing out Chaz. They turn off the Dragon, but they're keeping it aggroed. Already Exosin in the backline, forced away. Helios comes in for the second win of the reinforcements, but Devil J, the first assassin, bites the dust here. RRQ pushing forward, but 0711 does not go down. FunPlus Phoenix continues to soar. It is Helios that finds the backline. Shaman, Yezir, Qeon. Can RRQ withstand the remaining members of FunPlus Phoenix? They have the push and pull. Chaz expending his GA, but he gets taken out by 0711. Helios had to retreat. The waves are pushing in through the mid lane and the bottom lane. There's no jungle, there's no smite. It's our Coca-Cola pop-off.
Let's take a look at that again. It was a big 4v5. It was FPX pulling the trigger with the final chapter, and everyone from RRQ pretty much backed into this corner in this blue buff area, and they couldn't finish a lot of these targets because guess what? A lot of healing, a lot of defenses, and Chaz was trying his hardest to find key targets who were low to finish the job. But the biggest issue is 0711 not even cracking out that Guardian Angel. He still has it, and he's still not gonna die.
And FunPlus Phoenix, with the Elder on their side, with 2 inhibitors already knocked down, it is only a matter of time. RRQ maybe have one more fight left. If there is a miracle, for the Miracle Machine. It has to be now. The final chapter has found its mark. Crystal Enchanted Arrow negated by Marky, but Exosin can't retreat fast enough. It is FunPlus Phoenix soaring overhead and taking out one member. The Baron is the next one on the nest.
You gotta love the discipline that FPX has. They get one kill, let's go Elder. They got another kill, let's go Baron. They're not pushing through. Chaz?
Oh, the package from Xiaoma. Chaz is burned to a crisp. Baron is secured for FunPlus Phoenix. And now Helios, is he making an attempt to backdoor the base? Does he have any minion waves? No.
None. Yedzi cut off the wave himself.
He's trying to play hide and go seek.
Arrow.
You have to pull out any creative plays at this point, but the Demacian Justice silences Devil J in his tracks. Helios is trying to buy time, expending his GA. FunPlus Phoenix doing everything right. FunPlus Phoenix, they're on the doorsteps. It is now Marky and Exosin, the last members of RRQ, the last line of defense for the Filipinos. But it is FunPlus Phoenix, the #1 team from China that are looking to become the #1 team of the world, will advance to the semifinals in a dominant 3-0.
And just as they said to RRQ, FPX wins a dominant 3-0. No sweat. Very convincing, very strong. FPX, I swear.
Even when RRQ gave their best in the early game of this final match, FunPlus Phoenix found the composure to reorganize, reassess their situation, and get through the bleeding of the early mid game that RRQ were looking to accelerate, using to use as a foundation to get themselves into another game, looking for that reverse sweep dream. But FunPlus Phoenix, this is the #1 team from the WRL for a reason, and if they continue this form,
yeah, they're scary.
They have played the least amount of games out of any team remaining in the knockout stage. They are the only WRL team who have not lost a game so far.
Not a single game. That's insane. That's a statement. And the fact that, again, they're still left unchallenged, and we're already at knockouts, they're already in semifinals, it just shows how strong of a team they are.
You cannot help but just be incredibly amazed by the performance from FunPlus Phoenix. This is a team that they are looking to make a statement. They are not just looking to take games, they are looking to take names, Riku. They are knocking everyone down because it's not enough. You saw in that victory, their minds are already on the semifinal stage. Their minds are already looking to the finals. They don't want just the throne of the WRL. They want the throne of the world.
That's massive. And seeing their performances from group stages up until now, you see it. You see it, Rafa. We see it.
Yeah, well, Mika Degon and Stuart, and a dominant performance from the side of FunPlus Phoenix. What words do you have after a series like that?
You know what? You'd think that, of course, like, WCS fans and Philippine fans would be heartbroken. But I am here to say right now, with what we're hearing on the stage as the team regroups, it doesn't sound like a loss. They're very proud of what they've accomplished here. They are laughing. They are loud as ever. The team is in high spirits. And this was an incredible feat. We know that FPX is an unbeatable team so far here at Icons 2022. And RRQ, they really gave their best fight.
I feel like in this third game, this is the RRQ that we wanted to see in this series. Exosin on the thresh, really, really strong performance. But FPX, like you said, this is where... Again, it doesn't feel like they broke a sweat at all. I feel like in the third game, in the early game, they were kind of under a little bit of pressure because RRQ were really taking it to FPX in that third game. But this is just easy for them. This is just like, okay, cool, next one, on to the finals now against Nova, and this is a team that's looking so strong. And they have multiple carries as well. I think that's a crazy thing about FPX, but let's take a look back at the replays. Like I said, it was really RRQ, in the early game that was it was really RRQ in the early game that was really taking it to FPX, you know, the early game aggression from Exerson on this Thresh with Marquis on this Morgana as well. It's the first time that both these players have played the two champions as well, and they look really strong in the early game. But we were talking a little bit behind. We was like, the later this game goes, the scarier it gets for RRQ, because FPX's comp scales up so well. You know, the Jax, the Corki, even the Ashe mid lane as well. Like, FPX are just like, okay, Team Flash, you played it before with Coty. WCS, you played it before. We're going to show you how to play Ashe mid as well.
Yeah, and they knew exactly what to do as well. They knew that RRQ would, you know, take the early lead. They were getting a lot of early kills, and they were performing really well too. But FPX, they knew exactly when to strike back. They knew when, you know, okay, this fight, we go all out. And that's exactly what happened. It was just down to like one clash wherein suddenly the tide turned for FPX. It didn't seem like, you know, they were still very calm. I know they were pushed, and maybe they were like thinking, oh, we're not winning this early mid game.
Yep.
We're gonna take it to the late game. They knew their win conditions very well.
For sure. I mean, even to be fair, like the late game fight, some of them are really close as well. Like some of them were really close, but it got to a point of a game where RRQ just lost complete vision on the major objectives like Baron and Elder, and it kept on becoming a cycle of, okay, someone face checks from RRQ, 0711 dashes in on the Jax. Someone else tries to face check, 0711 dashes in again. It just kept on being a repeating cycle because RRQ couldn't find control over the river, over their major objectives around Baron and around Dragons. And it got to a point where 0711 on this Jax with the Yuumi as well just becomes an unkillable combo when it gets to the mid and late game.
Yeah, but we have to, you know, we really have to give it up for RRQ. They were
sure.
definitely a memorable team here at Icons 2022. Yeah, look at that. They had so much, they had that lead from FPX. That is no small feat. Remember that FPX has been an undefeated team so far. I believe even in the WRL, they have had some kind of streak going. So the fact that RRQ was able to maintain that lead for quite a while here on this stage is incredible for a WCS team.
It shows that RRQ, you know, they have potential. I think, you know, like you said, hearing them behind as well, they're still in good spirits. They're still really happy. I think, you know, they mentioned it a couple of weeks ago as well. They were like, we're going to come into this tournament, we're going to have the best time possible because you don't know if you're going to be back, you know, on the world stage again. And I feel like, you know, RRQ, they should be proud of themselves.
Yeah.
You know? They came up, they give up a good fight against FPX as well, which, as you said, you know, #1 seed from the WRL is not an easy task.
Yeah.
But in that third game, they had really strong performance. And that's kind of the RRQ that we knew coming into the tournament and what we saw during the playing stage and the group stage.
And it's nice to see them go out with that character as well. I mean, you know, when they exited, they regrouped with their coach. They were still in high spirits. They were still laughing and they were still shouting. They went out with that, you know, that composition that we know them for. They went out with the place that we know them for. So I think it's a no better swan song for this team, for this Philippine team from WCS. I know fans out there, you know, there is a watch party ongoing in Quezon City in the Philippines. Shout out to you guys. I spot two, by the way, up in front, two very noisy casters over there up in front that are leading the charge. You guys can be very proud. This team did so well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, top 8, you know, top 8 is still, you know, top 8 basically in a world, you can say that in the end, you know, coming in. I think, you know, RRQ being the second seed from the WCS, you know, they've won a lot of fans, I think, as well. They've won a lot of, you know, fans back at home as well, whether you're from the WCS or not. You know, myself, not even from the WCS, I'm a fan of RRQ and all these players now. You know, seeing them behind the stage, seeing them even on stage as well and in the game as well. You know, their play style is just so much fun to watch.
Oh, sure, for sure. And for the side of FPX, again, still that streak. You were almost correct with your predictions. Almost.
There was one game where Rolster Y won, but I was almost correct with my 3-0 predictions.
Yeah.
But that was close enough.
I'll take it. Close enough. And for FPX, just like Nova Esports, it's going to be really exciting. You know, we were researching a little bit ahead of time as we saw like the game is coming to a close, and there's some very interesting history between FPX and Nova Esports. And Nova Esports apparently, you know, they have taken a game off of FPX.
Yeah. So what happened was that you know, FPX versus Nova will be the semi-final match as well that we're going to be getting. The interesting part is that they both dodged each other in the playoffs. They didn't actually play each other in the playoffs, but the last time that these two teams played each other in the WRL was in in the Stage 2 Challenger, and it was actually Nova that beat FPX 2-0 as well. So the last time these two teams faced, Nova was the ones that came out on top. So that's going to be a really, really interesting semi-final match when we do get there.
Yeah, I feel like RRQ, they kind of like poked the sleeping dragon, and now the dragon's awake, and they sent it to Nova Esports.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you really want to
your
be...
turn, Nova, your turn.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
We woke him up. But yeah, FPX, of course, as I mentioned before, I believe I said this on broadcast as well, they're not the flashiest team, but they're just so clean. Like, you might not see the plays that Long, for example, might do from Nova Esports, but they are incredibly clean. They have perfect understanding of their timings, of their win conditions. Again, as I keep saying, because it feels like FPX, even though I do believe that they were pushed to their limits and they were struggling a little bit, they still kept calm.
Yeah.
You never felt that at one point FPX was like panicking or lost, right?
Yeah, you never really feel like, or they never really feel like they're in danger. They never really feel like they're on the back foot. They're just like, okay, we can stay calm. We can play to our strengths, which is during the late game. When it comes to them big objectives, the mid and late game, that's where we shine. That's where, this region and these teams really shine. You pick in champions like Jax, like Corki, like Ash as well. And Ash was a very, very interesting pick. I think the build as well from Ash was really, really interesting. Went like Leandri's, Serrader's Grudge, Black Cleaver. The build was really, really weird. Me and Degon were trying to do some like research behind the scenes of like how Leandri's works with Ash, because it's kind of a weird interaction, I think, with the second ability and then Grudge as well. The build was very weird, but it still worked out. I mean, like I said, Coyote played it before in the mid lane, and now Yezi plays it as well in the mid lane. Ash has become a pick now that's been quite popular, I think, in Icons.
Yeah, and you guys should have heard Stuart, like, behind the scenes. Like, what is that build? What is that?
Crazy.
What is he doing?
The build was so weird. I mean, this is a crazy thing, is like the WR teams and, different players from different regions have like different ways of like testing builds, different way, we've seen like Corki as well with the Hole Breaker, with the Black Cleaver as well, which, us at EU is just like, no, we don't really like it. We prefer like the Crit Corki. But that's a good thing about, a World Championship, is that different teams come in from different regions with a different take on the meta, different items as well, what they feel like is strong, and FPX have the perfect comp now, really, and their perfect playstyle coming into the semi-finals.
For sure. Building on that, actually, like each of these teams from all of these regions, as they do make their way home, they come back a little bit richer with more knowledge of Wild Rift than they did before, which makes it so exciting for the scene. And let's remember, this is the first inaugural global championship for Wild Rift. It's going to get even more exciting. And, for all of these teams as well, they do leave the stage, a lot more interesting than they did, even for going back to the play-ins and everything. This, we are basically every single day, every single series, it's kind of like wiping the slate clean and saying, okay, FPX, you show us how Wild Rift looks like. All right. Wipe the slate clean, Nova Esports, how does your Wild Rift look like? And it's ever-changing, which makes it so beautiful.
I think that's a great thing about Wild Rift as well, is that, it's still a fairly new game. We're at a stage where there's no real set meta. There's no real way of playing Wild Rift. Like you said, every region is coming in with their different way of playing Wild Rift, with their different sort of meta. And it's great to see, to be honest. Like you said, the first ever Wild Rift Global Championship here at Icons. As the years go on, the metas will change and everything as well. And all the players that have played on this stage as well will get a lot of experience from it. They get a lot of experience. They'll be able to go back, to their home countries as well, grind for the next season, and keep on going.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get even more exciting. But for now, time to send it over to Degon with a few members, so plural, of RRQ for the Verizon post-game interview.
Feel knowing that you guys have been one of the fan favorites throughout the tournament, not only in the Philippines, but obviously around the world.
We're happy that we are the fan favorite. Yeah.
You obviously all had different names on your faces for different people. Who did you have?
RRQ.
Who did you have?
RRQ.
Oh, you just had RRQ?
Yes.
Because we saw EXO had
his wife and son.
I
Wife and son.
didn't know that it's okay to put that. Because I'm the first one who put RQ, then I just saw them putting their different names.
When you look back on this tournament, what is your favorite memory going to be?
I solo killed Yezi.
Through the whole tournament, Marky, how about you? What's your favorite moment?
My favorite experience is our bonding here
Yeah.
as a team. Even though it's our first time, then my team members are young. There's so much interesting that we could still give a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. And again, finally, I kind of wanted to invite special guests that we had here just because we know you're a big fan. Here's the #1 RRQ fan here, Riku. Riku, do you have anything to say for our RRQ players?
I'm still super proud of you guys. You guys are still amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You okay, bro?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then, thank you, Riku. Any final words for all of the fans watching over in Quezon City? Because a lot of fans watching, staying up late to watch the match.
In match view party
Yes, at the
in
viewing party.
Philippines or whole.
You had a ton of fans come out to watch in Quezon City. So,
yeah.
do you have any final words for them?
Thank you sa panonood sa The Wild Rift Icons at patuloy pa rin kayo sumuporta sa amin kahit natalo kami ngayon. Thank you.
Marky?
Sa mga nanonood dyan sa Pinas sa watch party, sorry kasi natalo kami at hanggang dito lang yung nakaya namin, top 8. Pero sa susunod, kung mabibigyan man lang kami ng pagkakataon, mas lalo pa namin pagbubutihin. At sana patuloy nyo pa rin kami supportahan.
Thank you for all the matches that you played, the memories you left with everyone here at Icons. And again, thank you very much, guys, after your match with FPX. All right, let's send it back on over the desk to close out the day.
You just send it over to yourself, Tika.
Yeah, back to the desk. Back to
Back to
Digon.
the desk. Catch it. Catch it for yourself.
All right, I'm back. All right, cool.
He's back in action.
We made it.
I just have to say, kinilig ako, which basically means, oh, I'm so giddy that Helios finally got to go face to face with Riku, and she got to say, oh, I'm so proud of you guys.
It's great to see that, RRQ are still in good spirits, even after the loss as well. It just shows you that, coming into this tournament, they had that high spirit.
Yeah.
You can see them backstage as well, taking pictures and everything like
Yeah.
that as well with each other.
We can hear them in
Creating
high
memories.
spirits.
Oh, yeah, we can hear them throughout the entire tournament, which is such a nice thing to see.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a contender be this just happy to have been here, right?
Yep.
A lot of times it's teams that, are the best in their region, but their region's growing and they understand that. With RRQ, they truly were dominant. And again, to tell their story, as you said earlier, this was a team that in WCSPH, people didn't think we're going to make it. This was going to be Team Secret coming back on over. Fennel Academy is another squad that almost made it to Icons. RRQ were further down the pecking order, and they made it here, and they showed up. And,
Yeah, for sure.
when you think about teams that are going to leave an imprint on the first ever Icons Global Championship, it's going to be RRQ as one of those teams you'll go down to remember.
No, yeah, for sure. I was guilty of that as well in WCSPH. I mean, they were known as the group stage team, and now they're here at Icons. And I remember even Coach Kaigo would call us out afterwards, and whenever they would win, they would tag us on social media and say, "What did you say? What did you say, Mika?" So yeah, definitely gonna miss them on this stage, but congratulations to them. And of course, congratulations to FPX.
Oh, yeah.
Still the giant that they are here, still setting the pace for Icons.
Right. One thing that they said off camera was how proactive they were after being reactive. Like, again, being put on the back foot with those dives on the bottom side of the map. Even in that last game when they started falling behind, but then I think they, RRQ took Rift Herald, but then lost top tower. They lost bottom tower. They lost mid tower. And all of a sudden the map was growing smaller and smaller, as Riku said.
Yeah, growing smaller and smaller. Let's find out how that works out. But on a final note for the side of RRQ, just translating the final messages that Helios and Marky had, they were really thanking the fans for all of their support. And Marky did say, hey, we did this. And this was technically like the roster's first year. Just wait till you see what we can do when we come back. So
That's exciting.
definitely excited to see what else they can do here on the Rift. But as for tomorrow, Icons 2022 continues with our final 2 quarterfinal matches. We will see Flash Wolves versus a J Team and Team Flash versus JDG. Both best of fives once again, and the winners move on to the semifinals, and the losers head home. You guys don't want to miss it. Any final thoughts before we end the show on these next two matches?
I feel like, tomorrow's a day of WRL versus WCS. If it's the same as today, we might see two more 3-0s. My bold prediction was nearly correct, but we still got more exciting games tomorrow. I think, J-Team with Berry and Cherry as well, Flash Wolves with Bruce as well.
The scary
Exciting
Berry Cherry,
game. Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, again, I think it's the lasting legacy of what RRQ has left and just the pure dominance of this FPX squad that has yet to lose, not a series, but a game here at Icon. So can't wait to see them continue to grow and show what they've got here on the biggest stage.
Well, one thing's for sure, lots of exciting Wild Rift action continues tomorrow. But for now, that is the end of our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And on behalf of the entire production, on behalf of analyst Digon and its Stuart, thank you guys for watching. We will be back here, same time, same virtual place. For now, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you in the Rift.
Check your hands.